All right, welcome everybody to the Wrestling Ring on the Comic Wrestling Podcast. Viruses be damned, we're doing this podcast anyways. This is our social distancing.
This isn't 6 foot. Don't tell anybody, but we're all right. We're all right.
Yeah,
we got
our.
I got my orange juice. It's in my. I'm gonna go with me for the rest of the show because I'm going places. It's in my Argyle Brewing Company cup that I got at their place. It's in Greenwich, New York. You should check them out. That's plug number one.
Plug number one. Mm-hmm. They should sponsor us. Mm-hmm. They've been plugged a couple times.
Many places are now going to hopefully sponsor us. But it's delicious, and I'm not going to die. Not today, anyways.
No, because we got to keep doing this, so nobody can die.
Not today, Dad. I don't know.
But I'm Deadly Dave. This over here is the man, the myth, the legend,
Ace Williams. I didn't know. I just went with that one.
But today we're going to talk a convention that we went to. We're going to talk some AEW. We're going to talk some wrestling, WWE, which is just fucking horrible. WrestleMania.
All right, I found it. Never mind. Found it as soon as I turned my head.
Ace has got some stuff to show off, show and tell. So.
I'm not showing that off. That'll be on the comic shop. We'll prepare that. I'll have that in the front. That's too big. Real quick, just show off some shit real fast.
Yeah.
So last time we recorded, was it before my birthday?
It was.
Okay, so this is after my birthday. So I'm not going to show off all the gifts I got. I got a handful of them, but I'm going to show off one of the gifts I got, and I'll talk about the others. This right here is an immaculate, awesome Kingpin Funko 80 Years of Marvel. It's pretty sweet. It is probably my absolute favorite one. I have to really sit down and think about it, but I think it is my favorite. This guy got it for me. And he got me a little Star Wars Lego right behind me, which is kind of cool because it's Anakin and Obi-Wan from Episode 3. And then actually, I ordered this. Vulture. 80 Years of Marvel. He's pretty sweet, badass. Adrian Toomes.
He actually saw it in the store and was debating on whether to buy it. And
you know what? That's not even the one I had in my hands. I had the Nick Fury in my hands, but I love the Vulture. And that was before the movie came out, too, that I love that Vulture. So he's one of my favorites, so I picked him up for myself. Well, he ordered it for me. And then, I'm not going to show that off. I don't know. That's about it. Actually, no. My other gifts were my mom got me a mini movie projector. It's pretty sweet. And then Marcadius, for like the third or fourth year in a row, has swooped and duped the birthday gifts. Bought me a PlayStation 2. Yes, a PlayStation 2. I told a buddy of that. I actually ran into a friend at Walmart. And I told him, I was like, yeah, my buddy got me a PlayStation 2, so I'm looking for games. He goes, well, that was a shitty gift. I go, what do you mean? He goes, doesn't he know there's like a PlayStation 5 coming out? I was like, yeah, but it's a PlayStation 2.
Yeah, that's some awesome games.
I go, it's this thick one, too. It's not the shitty thin one. Yeah, exactly. He didn't give me any games. Marcadius didn't give me any games, but I have a handful of them. Spider-Man from the first movie, Ultimate Spider-Man, King Kong, Ratchet & Clank, Jak and Daxter, Spyro, Punisher, some wrestling ones. That's about it.
That was a great system, too. And
to have one again, it's pretty awesome. So in my apartment right now, I have an N64, a Nintendo, a Super Nintendo, a GameCube, a PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, and Xbox One. So, if y'all want to come over and get your ass kicked in video games, I'm not giving my address out, but
if you can find it.
If you can find it, I'll kick your ass in video games. I'm just saying, that most likely will happen. So,
alright, so we went to WrestleFest 2 last weekend, or the weekend before.
Should I have this playing while we talk?
Yeah, you can if you want.
Okay, I'm sorry to cut you off, but we're going to start kind of a new thing if the theme we're talking about can have something to go along with it for our viewing pleasure to keep us rolling, and maybe you guys can watch it along. Since we're going to be talking about AEW, we're going to watch the last pay-per-view they had, right? Because they haven't had a new one yet.
Yep.
Revolution. We both watched it. Every Showdown and Revolution, we're going to talk about both. We both have seen them. So.
Not much on Showdown because there's not much to talk about, but
slow down, more like it.
Yeah.
Revolution was awesome.
Yep.
awesome.
There's a lot to talk about.
Top to
there
finish.
really is.
Great card.
Yep.
I don't know. Is top to finish the right term?
Top to bottom usually, but you know.
Top to bottom. Well, when I get to the bottom, I normally finish, so, you know. Just sorry for any people that are watching that don't like this vulgar dialogue. I'm under the weather because of the corona. You know what's another good thing to get you out of being under the virus of corona? Pringles. And not just any Pringles.
The Pickle Rick ones. I figured you'd see those.
Want to try one with me?
Sure. Are they the dill? Oh, they're dill pickle, aren't they? It smells bad.
I don't like it. I don't like it, Dave. No bueno.
Oh,
all right,
that
you ready?
Smells way too strong.
All at once.
Wait. All right.
All at once. You ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Oh fuck, that's nasty.
Mm-hmm. I hope I get the sickness now.
Oh Jesus.
That was gross.
God damn.
Look at that face. Don't trust that face, kids.
Fuck me. That's
Pickle Rick, don't eat me. That was pretty gross.
holy shit.
I'm sorry.
Who could enjoy that? That's fucked.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. That was not enjoyable. It's things like that I like to do on the podcast or just in general.
Just in general, yeah. So we have.
Oh, it's awful too.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sure the orange juice just made it better.
It's so much gross sour at once. That's gross as fuck. Give me something chocolatey.
Yes, I brought snacks because, you know, it's what we do.
I was going to bring... Oh, I did have snacks, and then I ate them. Because that's what you do with snacks, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you're quarantined, you know, that's what you do. You eat the shit out of your snacks.
I went to Walmart yesterday and coughed all over the handles of all the carts.
Was it my Walmart?
Oh, it was specifically your Walmart.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
That's what I
thought. I
thought they felt a little weird.
I don't know if I just said the address exactly, but I said it. So yeah.
We're going to have AEW Revolution playing in the background is what we were getting at.
Yeah, we kind of got off the rails, what we do. I'll turn it down a little bit, because you guys don't need to hear it. We do a little bit. Because we can get away with these guys.
Yeah. But I also made an AEW entrance theme CD for Ace, which is really cool.
Yeah, I love it.
Which he mentioned last night, and I was able to do it this morning, so...
Mm-hmm.
I loved these pump-up videos for it. I thought they were really well done.
Yeah.
The way they do their stuff is so good. And this build-up to Cody and MJF was just done masterfully.
But we can get into this. I want to go back to what you were talking about, though, the WrestleFest.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, get back into that.
WrestleFest 2, it was at the County Center Mall, presented by Heroes Hideout. Bret Hart was the headliner, Jake the Snake Roberts...
Bob
Backlund, which that experience with Bob Backlund, he pretty much attacked me, which was fucking amazing.
It was cool, because he was very energetic, but also relaxed.
Yeah, like we expected that kind of energy from like Tony Atlas or somebody like that. But Bob Backlund he was so into it. You could tell he was loving every second of it.
It was very cool.
But part of my birthday was my Deborah meet and greet.
Which, come on now. Can we sour on it a little bit? Just a little.
Just a little.
It was great. I'm going to actually show it off.
She was wearing an XFL jacket, an original XFL jacket, which was
cool. This is the proof to show, in case anybody's out there like, these motherfuckers are liars. This is the Deborah 8x10 I got autographed right here. It advertised. Now, I'm not bitching specifically this situation, because it happens a lot.
Yep.
I'm complaining about it happening in general.
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yes, it is.
Because I don't want to get sour on one thing. But the fact that does happen, where it's advertised this, and yes, card is subject to change, price shouldn't be, though. Because your average Joe, myself, we kind of budget ourselves for this stuff. And to go there and expect to spend this much, and you kind of have to, it's like, whoa, wait a minute, you just changed the price, how much?
Especially when it had been on the website as a certain price for over a month.
A company I will shit on, though, that did this was Big Time Wrestling.
Yes.
With Sting.
Yeah, with Sting, yeah.
I was so pissed I was ready to kill people.
And that whole experience was horrible anyway.
I mean, no piece of candy. I'm going to eat a lot of pieces of candy because I'm a fat piece of shit. Because you know what else? Who's sponsoring us today? Skittles. Bright side.
Not dill pickle Pringles.
Not even dill pickle flavored Skittles. Don't make them ever think of them because that's gross. But Skittles, bright side. Because if you're having a dark side, eat a little Skittle. Taste the rainbow. There's a lot of sponsors here. I'm hoping somebody picks us up. These are delicious. You can have a couple of them.
Okay.
And I'm eating a Milky Way.
But we also, I met one of the Killer Bees, Jumpin' Jim Brunzell, because I had already met B. Brian Blair. I kind of felt weird just meeting one of them, but at the same time, once he, like you said, once he saw my autograph, he realized that I had met him before. So,
I would like to think that because I sometimes feel guilty over little things like that myself.
But he didn't look very good. He looked pretty fucking haggard. Like, he had trouble getting up out of the chair.
Who am I to say? Jesus Christ, I just turned 30 and I feel like I'm dead.
But didn't you say you thought he was, like, in a wheelchair when you first saw him?
When I walked up on it, or not even, yeah, when I was walking up on him, I thought he was in a wheelchair. I didn't think he was capable of standing up. But, I mean, I've never seen this guy in person.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything about him in my whole life other because he was done doing anything by the time I got into wrestling.
Right. But, also, we met Ezekiel Jackson, who was fucking huge, but it was really cool that he was there.
It was cool that he was there.
You know, we both got photo ops with him, which was really cool.
He is the only guy... Well, I don't want to say it like that. I don't want to say he's the only guy, because Matt Hardy and Jack Swagger, I really love those guys. But he's like the only guy that I won't shit on that held the ECW title.
Yeah.
Like, I won't shit on, like I said, Matt Hardy and Jack Swagger, but just in a different way. Because when I walking up on Ezekiel, I even said to him, I was like, I don't know if you get shit or not for this, but I really liked you in ECW. And he just started laughing. But I don't know, I thought it was cool.
And then you noticed that Curtis Hughes was there.
Yeah, that was very cool.
And he was wearing, like, a good shirt, like a button-down shirt with his suspenders like he normally does. And he was wearing And One fucking sandals, which I
did not notice that.
I thought
that
was funny. Fucking hilarious.
But he was dressed like he would be on TV, minus the sandals.
He had the sunglasses on and everything. He had the urn, which I thought was a great fucking addition to the whole thing.
And black don't crack.
He looks the same. He totally does look the same.
Looks like fucking... What's Elijah Burke's dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, you'll have to put the picture of you and him.
Actually, I could probably put all our pictures up on Facebook.
Good idea.
But there was a lot of other names there. Tony Atlas was there, and like Jake the Snake, James Ellsworth.
I didn't see him until you pointed him out.
Pat Tanaka and Paul Diamond, who were Bad Company. They were also the Orient
was
Express.
there because I saw pictures of her online.
You said you saw somebody with a Christy Hemme autograph, but I didn't see her.
I didn't either, but I did see that. Who else was there?
Other than Brett,
Gangrel,
Georgia Smith, the daughter of
J.J. Dillon.
J.J. Dillon was there. Yep.
Now we've met a lot of these guys in the past, so I mean it is cool to see them still. But
the whole Bob Backlund thing was just, that made the whole thing. It really did.
I was excited for that. That was my most excited one, other than because Greg Gagne. Yeah, I wanted to meet him, but he wasn't there.
Yeah, that kind of sucked. But all in all, it was a lot of fun, and we went to Popeyes after, and
I had Popeyes again the day after because I bought like $30 worth of chicken.
And that chicken sandwich that they talk about, it's good, but it isn't.
I'm not gonna hold the goddamn place up and say, "Get my goddamn chicken sandwich, nigga." You know what I mean? I'm not gonna do that.
No,
I mean I will because I'm a fool and I'll act it, but it ain't worth it. But we did have a show we were supposed to do.
Yes, on the 21st. That's unfortunate that because of this virus, you can't have groups of, now it's over 50, but it was over 500 at one point.
Jesus, so. 50? I had an orgy planned tonight. I gotta cancel that shit. That's at least 75 to 78. That's some shit and a half. Alright.
Is that the amount of videos you're gonna watch, or?
Oh, it's the people that are gonna come over.
Okay.
Well, now I can't have that many people. I don't want to do it anymore. So, alright.
But unfortunately, Scott Wilder, had to cancel it, and that sucks because it was going to be, I think it was going to be good with the Ascension being there and Tony Atlas and the Wild Samoans. Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate. We were going to do a table and have a good time, but hopefully with the next one that's going to happen, we can do one at that one.
Yep.
And I think it's in either May or June, something like that. So.
I don't know. Just wanted to mention that, though, because we were supposed to do that, and, you know, obviously, like you said...
We were actually supposed to do that yesterday. It would have been yesterday that we would have been doing it.
Oh, my God! It feels too soon! Jake Hager, making out with his wife, licking her and kissing her and stuff.
I wonder if they're going to make her a character, because they showed her a lot during that match.
Mm-hmm. And then we have, if it doesn't get canceled from here to November, WrestleFest 3. That's supposed to be a 3. I'll just do that. 3. And you just informed me of one, but we both knew, well, I let you know probably a week ago that it was the headliner. Right? Would that be the headliner?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is Kane.
The big red machine. Mm-hmm. The mayor.
The mayor of Canesville. And then you just told me of the other one, which is...
Bob Holly. Hardcore Holly, which is fucking great.
That is awesome.
On road trips, we've always mentioned that we want to meet Bob Holly. He's one of the mid-card guys that we've really always wanted to meet. Mm-hmm. So that's really fucking cool.
I'm excited to meet him. Cause
2 more for your poster.
Exactly, and I think I've showed the poster off. Maybe... Have I ever showed the poster, like, in video?
I think you have, yeah.
I have 20 autographs on it. It's a lot.
Yeah.
When you think about it, I mean, that's quite a bit. And 10 of them are former World Heavyweight Champions.
Wow.
Pretty cool, right?
I didn't think you'd had that many on there. That's really cool.
I'll do a name for
name
the champions. Skittles are the worst thing to fucking chew. I mean, they're awesome. I love them, but when you want to have a conversation, they're not a good chewer. So, for the world champions, there's Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle, Mick Foley, JBL, Jeff Hardy, Christian, Bob Backlund. I know there's others, why can't I think of them?
You have Ron Simmons on there, don't you? Farouk?
Yeah, but I'm going...
Oh, you're going just WWE? Oh, WWE.
Yeah. Oh, fudge rudders.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who else you've got on there.
Yeah, who the fuck else? I know there's 10 of them, because I just counted them. I wish I had my phone on me. Because I know it's on my phone.
Do you have either of the Hardys on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I said Jeff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
God dang, why
it's gonna bother you now.
I know, hold on. Hold on, folks, we're doing another one of these goddamn things. Okay, carry on.
Well, for right now, in the background, we've got Dustin Rhodes and Jake Hager battling it out on AEW Revolution.
I'm back.
We are so professional.
I'm black.
Amazing.
I'm black. I'm black.
You're black?
I mean, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm black. Ladies and folks, give me a goddamn minute, because this is our podcast. We'll take the longest thing we'll take. Right?
I am really excited to meet Kane, though.
Do you think he'll be just in a suit with a mask?
I don't know, man. I maybe like a fucking, like tracksuit or something with his mask, or if he had like a Kane t-shirt or something on, that would be cool. I don't think he's gonna go full gear.
I would like to see him in like a mayor suit, and by that I mean like a blazer and shit with the mask on.
That'd be cool.
Off topic real quick, it's kind of wrestling. Look at this.
That's fucking cool.
What a creepy little ass wearing that mask. Where is that poster? I know I took it. Watch me have deleted it. That would have annoyed me.
That sucked.
Because I had a really good picture of it all, like... Oh, there it is. There it is. Alright, so let's count the World Heavyweight Champions one more time. If I can read their names. Oh, maybe I wasn't going just WWF Champions. Maybe I was going more. Because I've got Christian, Bully Ray.
Yep.
Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, Chris Jericho, Bradshaw, Bob Backlund, Kurt Angle, Mick Foley,
And you've got Farouk on there, and he was one. He was WCW World Champ.
Yep. I feel like I thought I had, like... I don't know anymore. Maybe I'm just living in a land of delusion. I think I need the shit kicked out of me. But yeah, I think it's going to be exciting to meet Kane. Yeah. I mean, that's like... You know, you've met Paul Bearer, you can meet Kane, you're going to fucking eventually meet The Undertaker.
Yeah, because he's going to keep doing Comic-Cons and stuff to make money, cause...
And he's just a piece of shit. No, I'm kidding. You know, I got to say real quick, I love it when Jericho is on the mic and he just says that about someone.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's a piece of shit! Like, oh, okay, we can say that for one, and that just sounds awesome that he says that. Because he was talking about Moxley's coach, Gil. He's like, yeah, that Gil Gargano, he's a piece of shit. Like, okay.
I guess they can say shit like twice a broadcast. So.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. But does that sum it up for anything like that?
Yeah.
We still have Saratoga Comic-Con.
Hopefully, maybe? If they don't keep this, you know...
I'm going to fucking kill something if we get boycotted.
And hopefully we'll still have Trish Stratus in May, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're going to be rescheduling the Alexa Bliss one, which sucks, but as long as they still have her, you know, there, it'll be really cool, because I'm fucking meeting her. Having that 5 feet of her standing next to me is going to be fucking great. She's going to be one that I'm probably going to put my arm around, because she's fucking amazing. One of the hottest women on the planet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This gives me a perfect time not to say anything. It's just chewing this and just thinking about She's a very sexy little lady.
But I wanted to talk about Super Showdown a little bit because it was horrible. It's just these Saudi Arabia pay-per-views. I know they're getting a shitload of money for them, but to waste TV time building up these fucking shows,
I'll pay more money
is asinine to me. It's so fucking bad. They're so bad. The Ricochet Brock Lesnar thing, to use the Rumble to build to that is fucking ludicrous.
Was dumb. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't even like a 5-minute match.
For Lesnar to just run through somebody, you could have picked anybody else.
Right, because if you were going to at least build that person up and have them win over Lesnar, but you didn't even have him do that. You had him get squashed.
Yeah. And it wasn't like where he squashed Cena, you know, but drew the match out, so he was giving him a shitload of suplexes and shit. Mm-hmm. He just tossed Ricochet a couple times, and that was it.
Right.
It's just... Their formula for the way they lay stuff out now is just... I don't get it.
And it's so... There's a pattern to it. You can really see a huge pattern in what they do of... I don't even know how I'm trying to say that, if that's right. Of just... This when you have to incorporate the showdown, the Saudi Arabia shows is what I'm saying. There's a consistent formula of throughout the year it feels like WWE, and then once it gets to this Saudi Arabia shit, there has to be a certain formula you hit because the show is expected, like it's being requested. You have to somehow now interject Goldberg into this, which. If these Saudi Arabia shows weren't happening, he would not be a thought at all.
Yeah.
So now that this is like, what, the 6th? I don't even know. The 5th or 6th episode? Or not episode, but Saudi Arabia show, it's become, well, now he'll get beat at WrestleMania, and then you'll see him again in another 3 months at the next one.
And they've got 8 more years of this deal with Saudi Arabia. They signed a 10-year deal. And it's all about money. That's all. It's all about bottom line for them. But I mean, I was pissed that The Undertaker came out and chokeslammed AJ Styles and just pinned him while he was wearing his. And then any other time he comes out wearing his fucking gear.
Why are you yelling?
And this time he had just
I love it.
His hat, his fucking jacket, and his 2004 return outfit on with the leather pants and the singlet top. And just chokeslammed him and pinned him and won the cup that he wasn't even fucking announced for. Just to set up AJ Styles against The Undertaker, which is probably going to be fucking horrible too. At WrestleMania.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Perfect time. Tell us what you really think.
I think it's fucking shit.
I would agree, sir. This stuff that they're doing with the WWE is absolutely hot trash. It feels... feels like a video game. It feels like it has to. It's again on like a certain formula. Like I don't know what the unspoken rules of WWE are, but the fact that like you can't touch the crowd, like you can't interact with them unless they tell you what to do. You can't make a mistake or you're gonna get fucking fined or fired. Like, nothing feels organic. It all feels... I probably have gone on these rants before. Like, just so cookie-cutter, and I can't stand it.
Every little bit feels scripted. Like, it just feels like there's no ad-libbing whatsoever. And then you look at a guy like Jericho, and you could tell that pretty much 90% of the shit he's doing is ad-libbed. You know?
And I'd like to say, we are the La Champions of podcasts. So check us out. We are the Comic Wrestling Podcast. Where are we located, David?
We are located on iTunes. We are located on Apple Podcasts. We are located on Breaker, Radio Public, Anchor, fucking YouTube. YouTube is the best spot. It's just because you gotta fucking watch.
Are we on Spotify?
We are on Spotify.
We're on all of it.
All of it.
Just
search for the Comic Wrestling Podcast and you'll find us.
And you know what? I get quite a few people that say, how's the podcast going? And I say, what, you don't listen? And they say, no, I can't find it. And I say, all right, well, check it out. It's the Comic Wrestling Podcast. And you know what the response of these people I get is? I don't know if I get those apps. I'm not making this up. Support us. If you're my friend, support me. What the fuck is this?
You can get it. You can load it up on iTunes and rip it off of the site, the audio, and just put it in your fucking, MP3 player. Folks, it's not that hard.
Dave knows me pretty damn well in the fact of this phone, my phone, every phone I've ever had is about 10 years out of date, right? So to speak. I get it. I can get those apps. Don't tell me you can't get those apps. Check us out. We're the Comic Wrestling Podcast. That's a cheap plug.
In the podcast itself, it's tremendous.
I know. We'll support ourselves.
So. Hell yeah! I listen to past episodes because it's fucking fun to go back and listen to.
I've actually not listened, but I watched the Halloween one not too long ago.
But the big thing about Super Showdown is Goldberg against The Fiend. It was an excuse for Goldberg to get the Universal title for a second time.
Whoa, wait a minute, hold on. You are one of these guys that's going to bitch? No, I am too. I'm going to bitch too. It's stupid. Go on.
To feed him to Roman Reigns, so Roman Reigns could be Universal Champion. So Vince McMahon could have a fucking orgasm.
Coronavirus be damned. WrestleMania!
But I mean,
these are so good. I love Monkey Ways.
They did a stare down at the beginning of the match, and then he speared him, which was fucking horrible. Speared him a second time, which was even worse. And he gave him four. What?
What are you talking about again?
At Super Showdown.
Oh yeah, I don't remember
the main event, which lasted like 6 minutes.
I skipped right through it.
And he gave him 4 spears, and he still sat up and gave him like the mandible claw. And then the worst jackhammer in the fucking history of jackhammers, which I saw people saying that, Bray Wyatt sandbagged him because he was pissed about wrestling him. I'd sandbag him too.
Oh, yeah, I'd be pissed.
You know what? I would make that match look as shitty as possible just so Goldberg looked like shit. Not that he can't do it on his own.
I'm just going to say the same thing. Not that he can't, or not that he needs the help. But
that means he's run through
that's so good.
2 really over characters in Kevin Owens and The Fiend, just to get the Universal Championship twice.
To someone else.
Yeah.
Instead of building stories and feuds that you build on, like, why not have it be Fiend and Roman Reigns at Mania?
Or even if you're gonna do, Goldberg against Reigns, you could have Reigns say, I'm the big dog of this company, you were the big dog of WCW for a while, You were the powerhouse. You were the the bruising guy that beat everybody with a spear. Well, that's me now. You could have done. You don't need the title for that either.
Right. Have it be a passing of the torch. Shit.
Yeah. And now you're going with the Fiend against John Cena. You could have gone with the story of John Cena going for another world title. His last world title. You could have built it as maybe his last match.
Right. Did I say this before? You build. Cena going for the title against Bray Wyatt, loses at Mania, right? Loses at Mania, and it fucking gets to him, frustrates him, eats him away. So now you're building towards SummerSlam.
Yep.
Cena is not a heel, but he is so desperate to get that last championship title that he is now having ruthless aggression again, like so to speak, right? Build up on your ruthless aggression videos.
The special on the network. Yeah.
Have Cena, build up on that and be pissed off, showing, like I said, a whole different side to him. And, still have him lose it. Don't give him the title. Have him go out on that, knowing, like, all right, I did everything I could. This guy's just better. Now you're making Bray Wyatt look that much better. Cena doesn't look bad for it.
Yeah.
He gave his best effort, and you're maybe even trying to win someone like me over that likes Cena during that ruthless aggression era. And have him maybe go, not so much maybe be the Dr. Thugonomics, but doing things.
But even that would be cool.
Right.
To kind of counteract the whole Fiend thing, he could do, while he's doing the Firefly Funhouse, Cena can be doing the rapping to throw shit back at him, you know what I mean? To show I'm not fazed by you.
Right, you're not, or you are in my head, that's why I'm doing this. And have Bray Wyatt even feed on that, like you have to resort to who you used to be to beat me, opposed to who you are now.
It's like they don't even think of shit like that. Like, stuff creative doesn't even come to their mind.
No, it's, what can we put a puppet that looks like a dead bird on someone's hand? Like, alright, that's creative.
And I get that whole Firefly Funhouse is creative, but then
it's not progressing a story.
Yeah, what you build off of it is just not good at all. Ever,
Yep.
And at the beginning it was cool, but now that they're doing it so much with him flipping back and forth between being Bray Wyatt and The Fiend, give me one or the other at this point.
Or stop calling him Bray Wyatt the Fiend.
Yeah.
Or the Fiend Bray Wyatt, however they call it. Call him the Fiend.
Yeah.
Like, I have a problem with that.
But now they've announced that they're not canceling WrestleMania. It's going to be a 2-day event. 2 days, hosted by Ron Gronkowski, who just got signed by WWE. So that's going to lead to a fucking angle, because somebody's going to confront him, and he's going to get in an angle with somebody. That's the whole fucking reason for him to host WrestleMania. Fuck, man. Corbin? That would be my guess.
Mojo Rawley!
Because, well, that'd be horrible. But
they're friends.
I know they're friends, and that's fucking horrible.
But, Mojo! I'm going to just keep saying it. You keep talking. Mojo! Mojo Rawley! Mojo!
But Corbin played, like, college football and shit, and I think he played pro for a little bit. I don't remember what team he played for.
You refer to him as King.
But that would make sense to me, a big, guy like Corbin being against Gronkowski, but...
King.
I get that they still want to do the event, but call it anything other than WrestleMania. Put some matches on, that's fine, but it's going to be fucking horrible.
Yeah.
There's going to be no crowd. The pay-per-view needs to be a spectacle. It needs to be, as Gorilla Monsoon used to say, a happening.
Are we watching that together or anything?
We could. I mean, after it happens, we could.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we could do that.
But it just, to me, having no crowd, I don't know. If it's going to be over 2 days...
Now, what is that, Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah. If they're going to do 4 hours each fucking day, that's going to be fucking horrible. But no crowd. How are you... With nobody for them to interact with... The Undertaker's going to do his huge entrance. What the fuck does it matter? It's just... It's going to fall flat. Totally flat, in my opinion. And a lot of people are saying, oh, well, at least they're doing something for the fans. Fine, do something, but this...
Again, like you said, label it something else.
Yeah, postpone WrestleMania till June, or once all this is blown over, and let all those people that had tickets... Because for me, if I had bought a travel package and they canceled, or they did this, I'd be like, well, what the fuck? I paid all this money, and if they don't give a refund, I'd be really pissed. And I wouldn't buy a ticket again, because you don't know if something like this happens again and they cancel it again... that I'd be so pissed at that point.
Yeah, it is weird. It's a very weird situation.
And now they're even selling shirts with the WrestleMania logo, with like the Buccaneer and all that shit, that says I wasn't there. They're literally selling shirts making fun of the fact that they have to do an empty arena fucking pay-per-view. An empty arena WrestleMania. How sad is that?
That's like, what am I trying to do? What's the most famous t-shirt website? For wrestling shirts.
Oh, Pro Wrestling Tees?
That's like a shirt they would make.
Yeah.
Not taking a knock at them, but they would make a shirt like that to take a knock at the WWE.
Yeah.
And oh shit! I'm speaking ill of the WWE. My light is flickering. Oh my god, Vince McMahon's hearing me. Right,
his ears are ringing.
Sorry, Vince. Yeah, that is kind of fucking weird.
That to me, that's a fuck you to your fans at that point.
Yep.
Not that their product isn't to begin with, but you know,
what else happened at Showdown?
They did the
match. That gauntlet match was just terrible.
Yeah, and they had the tag titles. Miz and Morrison won the tag titles, which is just a throw to Saudi Arabia. Here, we'll change a title at your pay-per-view.
And why? What is the payoff going to be with Miz and Morrison?
Yeah. One of them turns.
Again?
And the Miz will turn babyface for the 50 millionth time. And
no one will give a shit about John Morrison?
Yeah, you make Morrison a heel, who the fuck cares? Like, he has no personality.
Right.
Never has.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the only
personality, we got current day, modern day Latino.
Oh my god, fuck that shit. I mean, he has developed some personality with the Inner Circle, but
he's just an annoying little prick.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
And then, like, I don't think the gear that he wears fits him. Like, he looks like Jericho. He's got the kick pads and the spangly fucking, shit on his... I don't think the way he carries himself, that kind of gear... Like, what he has with the fucking skinny jeans. To me, him wrestling in that as, like, a punk makes more sense to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
With the Inner Circle shirt on, with the skinny jeans, him wrestling like that makes more sense to me.
I agree with that. Because, you see the kick pads and shit so much, and I never really thought of Jericho, because you see it so much now, but it does make me think of Jericho, now that you say that. Just because, it is the pink and shit style.
I know, it just...
I feel like he's got autism. I'm not, hating on that, God bless Eugene. And then this kid. Like, they just signed Darby Allin and Sammy Guevara at WrestleFest for Northeast Wrestling, different WrestleFest than the Heroes Hideout one. But it does nothing for me.
Yeah.
I don't like either one of these guys. I like Sammy Guevara more because he's involved in shit I like.
Yeah. Darby
Allin, I just don't give a shit about him.
And I was surprised at this match. I figured this match would be nothing but high spots and them just doing weird... they did do some of that, but AEW really has toned down... They've toned down a lot of that stuff, though. Like the Lucha Brothers matches, they were doing nothing but foot stomps and dives and all that shit. They've toned that down a lot. I think they're starting to realize that a lot of the shit that they thought they could rely on, they can't anymore.
He is just not someone
And JR trying to explain him, it's like... I don't know. It seems it doesn't have any gravitas to it. Like JR just doesn't, and they don't really do backstage stuff anymore. They have a little bit, but like the whole Chris Statlander thing with her being an alien and shit. Do fucking videos of her.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I think that all the time when I'm watching her. I'm like, why aren't there more weird videos to her? I don't know. Because I agree. I like. What the hell was it? When I think it was. No, it wasn't during this. But when, what the hell? Nyla Rose won the championship, she went back and she's like yelling at everybody and stuff. All of that felt like it was placed there.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like those girls were just in the background. It was like, no, you guys stand here.
Yeah.
And, WWE does that a lot too. They do a lot of bad shit like that where they're just placement. But to me that really bothered me because I was like, that could have just felt so... natural of her going in the backstage and being proud of the championship and no one giving a fuck, opposed to I see them waiting there to get acknowledged. It just, I don't know, it bothered me. But yeah, they need more video packages and shit, especially if they want to do weird...
Oh, that dive. That he landed straight on his fucking head. That's fucking crazy. I forgot about that dive. And he's a guy that you can tell just doesn't give a shit. Like, he doesn't fucking care. Like, he'll just do whatever. Kind of like Mick Foley. He'll do whatever the fuck.
His feet hit the rope, that's why. But he just... I don't see him ever as anything more important than just being a guy that can do really fun shit.
Yeah, he'll be one of their main guys. Like, he's upper middle card, you know what I mean? Like, he's going to be one of their focal points, but I don't think he's ever going to be champ.
I like Joey Janela.
Yeah.
I really do. I like his bizarreness. I like his not natural look. And he's like the Darby Allin. And then I guess that's my version of Darby Allin. Right. I don't need the creepy little gothic persona. I like the badassery of you.
Yeah.
And Joey Janela just does it better, I think.
And then, like, I think they're doing really well with building guys up slowly.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, MJF, like, they weren't building him up at the beginning at all. He was just with Cody and shit, and then they started building it. But they really have, I think, the way they're going about making stars, I think, is really good.
It is good. I really enjoy a lot of the talent.
Like, the Inner Circle, I never would have guessed that would have become what it has. You know? Santana Ortiz, I knew they were stars. I watched some of their stuff in Impact when they were LAX. You know, Sammy Guevara is starting to come into his own a little bit. And but Jake Hager, what do you need to say about him? He's fucking tremendous at whatever he does. It is literally,
the Inner Circle is now going to forever be synonymous with, like, the NWO.
Yeah.
Of big factions that weren't just...
Oh, that's 6:30 through the table.
Wasn't just a group like the Dark Order.
Yeah.
It was, oh shit, these guys are changing wrestling. They're changing what not our business, but what the business is, and I really feel like that's what the Inner Circle is for AEW. They are the NWO for this company, the DX for this company, whatever group jumps out to you as, like, not just a group,
yeah,
but as a fucking real faction. Like, Evolution, to me, is one of those groups.
Yeah.
You had the past, present, and future. So with this, you got Jericho, who is, like, basically the Ric Flair and Triple H of the group. And then Jake Hager is basically Batista and Randy Orton combined.
Yeah, yeah.
And then everybody else is the Randy Orton of the group. In that way, of they're young, they're super talented. I mean, I don't like Sammy Guevara, but the fucker is talented.
Yeah. And you don't know, he might develop into something that you actually, you know, enjoy watching. You know what I mean? There's so much potential.
I really enjoy it.
And I'm happy that they have signed a new TV deal, I think, for the next 3 years. So there's so much room for them to grow, and it gives them, you know, confidence that, hey, we're going to be here.
Right.
You know? And, I mean, they've got Tony Khan's money behind him anyways, and
and the match just started!
And he seems pretty committed to the whole thing. Like, yeah. He's all in on it.
And there's a lot of talk still of the video game.
Yeah.
A lot of talk.
And I don't know if you've seen any of the stuff about the action figures, but they're doing a whole line of action figures, which is fucking great.
It is cool.
You know? I mean, they're not even a year into it, and they've already having action figures made.
Right.
You know, that shows you what kind of gas they have behind them, you know? Well, the Bucks against Omega and Page, I don't know if they're going to go with Page turning heel. It seems too obvious to me with the way he's been acting and shit. I think Omega's going to turn heel.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think that's the way they're going to go with it.
Turn heel with, like, the Bucks?
Either that or he's just going to go
by himself?
Yeah. Because the way they've been doing it with Page seems way too obvious to me.
Okay.
With him, you know, being, you know, snarky
so
with the elite and drinking and all that shit. It seems too obvious.
Okay.
I mean, I could be totally wrong.
I haven't really thought into that at all.
You know what I mean?
That'd be interesting.
I thought that match was a solid match. The Young Bucks shit is getting way too predictable.
Can I be honest, though? I'm actually kind of turning over on the Young Bucks a little. I think it's just because I enjoy AEW so much that I just like the product. I like what it delivers. I really do enjoy it. I've never been a Young Bucks fan.
That's documented, well documented.
Like, ever. I've cheered for them at shows because it's exciting, but I don't cheer for them out of the joy of I like them. Even when they were in TNA and Generation Me, I didn't like them.
They had great matches.
They did.
With the
all their matches are great. I won't say it's never that I didn't like them because of their matches. I don't like their faces. and I don't like their personalities. And that's a deep thing on my own issues. I just why I don't like them, but the more I've just watched them in AEW, though, I like them.
Yeah,
I dig them.
Their moves are just the same shit. I mean, they've toned down the super kicks a little bit. There's a team I like.
Get rid of the fucking midget, though.
Marco Stunt.
Yep.
The Jurassic Express, though, I love that dynamic with Jungle Boy and the whole JR calling him Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Like, he's fucking Jungle Boy. You don't need to keep calling him Jack Perry all the time. He does it all the time.
He does, but I do like it. Because I think of it, when I first started watching, I'm like, Jungle Boy? I'm like, that's not going to carry over. Like, that's just, you're not going to go anywhere with that. And then when he first started calling him, I do understand where you're coming from. But I like that he does say that, because in my head, it gives me the backing of, okay, so if he was like champion or something, and they wanted to really make it legit, I guess, and not just be like, oh yeah, you're a champion, Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
But when everybody else is calling him just Jungle Boy, and JR's the only one doing it, and plus he's forgetting people's fucking names all the time, like, you know, that he's stuck on just one, it kind of, it feels weird to me, you know.
No, I know what you're saying.
And he actually, I think JR did a great job in this pay-per-view. He seemed crisp and on it.
I think his pay-per-view was just great.
Yeah, the whole thing in general, just, it was really good. Except for, the women's match was sloppy as fuck. Nyla Rose and Statlander, to me, just did not have any chemistry whatsoever, and it looked...
Whoa!
It just looked like they were trying to... They were going through the motions, like they were trying to figure out what they were going to do during the match. But it was alright. I mean, and I see all the stuff that people bitch about Nyla Rose being transgender, and they're just like, can't you just... If the women in the division aren't pissed, what the fuck do you care? You know...
I didn't hear any of the bitching up until she won the championship.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, is that fair? I mean, I don't get on the internet and read a lot of the dirt sheets or any of that, whatever, but I didn't hear any of the bitching, really, until she was champion, and then it was a problem.
Yep.
I heard a lot of cheering. I enjoy her. I like her. She's one of my favorites.
And to be honest, I didn't even know that until people started bitching about it. Like, I was like, okay, so she looks like a fucking woman to me. Like, she looks like Awesome Kong, you know, would look.
Right.
You know, just a big woman. Like,
nobody ever bitched when Nicole Bass was around. Just saying.
Bro, it'll be a great idea.
She's got a dick bigger than dicks, bro. Her name is Nicole Bass, and she's got a huge cock.
I mean... Let's make Sable look even better than she already does, bro.
I can say bro more times than you, bro. It's a fact, bro.
I always thought, like, when they did the Ring of Honor, like, when he would do the super kick counter, when I was like, just do that for Vince Russo every time he says bro on a podcast or something.
Bro.
So what did you, since I had you caught up on everything, even some of it in Spanish?
Oh my god, some of that sucked because there was, I don't remember what episode of Dynamite it was, but I gotta fix this light, hold on. Fucking driving nuts. Does that change anything, really?
No.
Not really. I forget what episode it was, but there was one, I think it was Jericho was doing his celebration or something, and it was in Spanish, and it just sucked. I was like, oh, I bet the commentating for this is awesome.
But what did you think of the build-up with Cody and MJF?
I love it. Yeah. I love all of it. I think, as cheesy as it is, like the whipping and stuff like that, it's such a throwback and feels like these are grown-ass men.
Yeah.
Taking care of business opposed to coming out, I'm going to say WWE, coming out dressed like superheroes. I'm not thinking of anyone specifically, but it's so much more glitz and glamour there. And here it's, let's put on a really good show and really authentic storylines. Like, it felt so personal. The whipping I was like, oh my god, this is like brutal. This is way nasty.
And Cody is so fucking talented. Like, he sold that like a fucking champ.
That neck tattoo, though, is awful.
Yeah, it really is. It's so funny.
That should be on, like, your shoulder.
He makes good decisions, and then something like that, you're just like, why? You know, like...
Is that, like, literally to spit in the face of WWE being like, well, I'll never go back there now, definitely, because I have a neck tattoo, and I just look like... It just, I don't know.
And he considers that logo his brand.
I get it.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
But put it on your chest.
Yeah,
put it on your shoulder. Put it on your bicep.
Yeah, I've never understood neck tattoos and never will.
I don't mind a neck tattoo if the rest of you is placed. Like, that's Like, when Jericho first started getting 1 or 2 tattoos on his arm, it was, like, so weird.
Yeah.
Now that he's got the full sleeve, it looks right. If you had just one big throat tattoo right here and then, like, a tattoo on, like, your hand... I would think that looks weird.
Yeah.
What is your reasoning? Do you plan on getting from here to there? So Cody, if he plans on getting his whole fucking throat done,
or like it's going to extend down his arm, he's going to do stuff down his arm. Yeah.
But start here.
Yeah.
It just looks bad.
Yeah. And with it being like the red, white, and blue, it does. It looks bad. Mm-hmm. It really does. But I thought the build up for that match was just. It was so old school, and just slowly built up, and MJF is the greatest fucking heel in the business, and a true heel. He's flipping off kids in meet and greets, with pictures and shit. That's just, and even if you see his stuff on Twitter, like, he just does it on Twitter, too. He's a complete heel.
He's great. I really enjoy him. I want an action figure of that feller. I want his shirt.
I hope his action figure comes with an actual cloth fucking scarf.
You know what I mean? One out of this.
I would like to see a 2-pack with him and Wardlow. I think that would be pretty cool.
I don't mind Wardlow. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about him. I'm not saying I love the guy.
Yeah.
But I like him for what they've used him for. He's been decent. That steel cage match was enjoyable as fuck.
Yep.
That was a really good steel cage match.
Yeah. I like their cage, too. I like the way it looks. I think
they need to support it in the middle more, though.
Yeah.
Other than that, it wasn't a steel cage match to be a gimmick. It was a match that just happened to take place in a steel cage. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It didn't feel like they had to make sure they hit this spot of the cage or that spot. It felt, oh fuck, it's just a match and they're trapped. I really enjoyed it. I truly did.
And I like Wardlow getting one of the whips in too. I thought that was a really cool twist to it.
Yep.
You know, that was just so well.
My only problem with that storyline is the Brandy.
Yeah.
If you're going to build her as a heel in one light, how do you have me wanting to feel sorry for her in a different?
Yeah.
It's not like Stephanie McMahon in the Attitude Era or the Helmsley Era.
I was just going to say that, yep.
Where, oh, my dad is hurt, let me go cry, and then my husband is hurt, let me, or you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't.
She didn't have the two sides.
Yeah, she just stayed who she was.
Yep.
Like, I get you want it to feel real, and having Brandy down there crying and being like, come on, babe, that's empowering, that's cool.
Yeah.
But next time I see her as a bad guy, I'm going to think, oh.
Or even if they go back to that.
Right, even that. Just weird. I do love seeing Double A.
Yeah.
I love it. Call him Coach, whatever the fuck they call him.
And he has, like the scouting report with him that's, like laminated. Like
he took a hell of a kick during this match with him and Cody and MJF. Yeah. Cody kicking him. I'm standing over there in my living room watching it, and I just see him get kicked, and I'm like, no!
Yeah.
Like Arn Anderson!
To me, a lot of that outside stuff, you didn't need it in that match.
No, you didn't.
That match on its own, I get Wardlow confronting Brandy, but all the stuff with Arn Anderson, I don't think you needed it.
Right.
You know, it just, that match stood on itself, on its own. Well, it's on there, so.
I know. Are the shirts on their website, not specifically these guys, but are the shirts on their website cheap at all or no?
They're like $25. Yeah. But, I mean, they do sales all the time too, so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'd really like to get an AEW shirt.
Okay.
Like, just like just a regular.
The logo and.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like an Elite one. Something just basic like that. And then I would really like to probably get a Jericho shirt.
Yeah. I like how they're doing this storyline with Adam Page. like I said, it seems too predictable for me. And having him team with Kenny Omega, it just...
I like it because it's allowing me... Because I heard a lot of hype of Kenny Omega before I started watching AEW. Or even before AEW started and it was like Ring of Honor and Elite or whatever the fuck it was. It's allowing me, instead of them shoving him down my throat because I'm told that he's great, it's allowing me to get used to him. I've always liked Adam Page. And again, same with the Young Bucks. Instead of just throwing them down someone's throat and saying, yes, they're the first ever tag champions, they're going to build towards it, it's allowing me to like them.
Yeah.
So personally for me, I do like this. Because it's letting me like the things I should, opposed to, I hate it because everybody else likes it.
Yeah. I don't like anything that Kenny Omega does. I'm like the Jim Cornette. I don't like him. I don't get any of it.
Okay. I'm not gonna hang on it.
Like that whole backstage thing with all of them. Omega was just fucking sitting there. Like it just the other three were going back and forth, and Omega was just, I don't fucking care. You know, his aloofness to me is just, you know, it's like Jim Cornette says, he seems like he has no passion at all. Even in his matches, to me, the shit that he does, like, he has so much fire with those knees and all that stuff, and the Snapdragon. But his personality, he has
no fire behind it.
Yeah, to me. And that may have worked in Japan, because it's all about the matches over there. But to me, it doesn't work. It really doesn't. And with a company where you have so many dynamic personalities.
I know exactly what you mean. I really do.
And I've seen people say, well, Benoit didn't have a personality. Well, to me, he really did.
That intense.
Yeah, the Wolverine, like, he didn't have to speak. Like, it just, you know.
Kenny Omega doesn't have even that nickname.
Yeah.
Or moniker to say what... I'm trying to think of, like, another character, but I know he never debuted. We never saw anything about him. But his name, to me, gives it meaning. Remember Tough Enough Silent Rage?
Yeah.
I feel like that guy would have been, because of that name, Silent Rage, the calm, cool, collective, destructive type.
Yeah.
Didn't have to run around screaming, I'm a barbarian monster, like a Braun Strowman. He would have been like a big Aleister Black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that, or it didn't really have a person. Silent Rage. It's there. Then Kenny Omega, like, to me, Omega, like, be Alpha Omega, be something dominant.
Yep.
And I get exactly where you're coming from, like the no personality kind of persona. But I personally try to think of that as, because his demographic is definitely the Chinese and the Japanese, whatever, and he's very anime.
Yeah.
His gimmick or his shtick is very anime. And I've watched a lot of anime cartoons. Like, my favorite is Dragon Ball Z. I've watched a lot of other ones. Perfect time to plug this now. King Cold, Walmart exclusive. Support your local Walmart.
Yes.
Because they're pretty awesome, and even Trump likes them.
He does a lot.
But my Walmart exclusive King Cold Marvel Funko Pop, if you know who King Cold is, I won't tell you, but if you don't, he is the father of Frieza. There you go. But I get it. I get his personality, but it doesn't transfer over to the casual, or to the, not even casual, but to, I don't know, is it just normal? Air quote it, normal wrestling fan.
And if you make him champion and you put him up against Jericho, they had great matches in the past, but Jericho's going to so outshine him every time he opens his mouth.
Right.
And to me, it's going to make it flat.
Even Moxley, too.
Yeah, you know.
Moxley, goddamn, I love it. We have to take a quick break for a second.
Uh-oh.
But for then, we'll be right back. Actually, you can keep talking. I'm just going to have this plan. I'm going to get more orange juice.
If you've, been with us for a while, you should know this kind of shit already.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, our WrestleMania episode, we were eating our dinner and having the doorbell ring in the middle of it. So, you know, this is normal for us. Off the rails. That's what we do. And that's all that really matters is we enjoy doing this. We like having people listen, but we enjoy doing this. You got your OJ? You're all good now? Oh,
it's white chocolate.
Thank you.
But now I got mine with juice. But if you didn't hear it, here it is again.
It's the dream, baby.
Let's start it over.
He's just a common man, working hard with his hands.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Comic Wrestling Podcast. Ooh, yeah, the comic wrestling. Don't let the corona get you, because you got to listen, watch, and follow along with the Comic Wrestling Podcast. Thanks, Dusty.
Well, since the music was playing, what did you think of Cody having Downstate?
He had Downton? What do you have?
The Downstate, the band.
Oh!
Play him to the ring.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah. Stephen Amell coming out as part of his crew, I thought was actually pretty cool.
That's all random to me. Every time he has like a different posse with him, it just is weird, and it's inconsistent. I like it, but it's just inconsistent. Like, why was Stephen Amell there?
Yeah. Other than, you know, the Arrow connection, but other than that, I mean, yeah. I thought it was cool to see him, you know,
I did too. I thought it was cool. I like all of it.
Because, you know, he's a huge wrestling fan, so that's...
But I don't like Cody's music.
No?
I like a lot of the guys' musics. I don't like specifically Cody's music. And I don't like Goldie's music.
No.
I wish Goldie's music was more like his WWE music, but like rock version.
Yeah.
Not just a random metal song that I don't know. But I do like Kenny Omega's music. I like Hangman's music. I like the Young Bucks music. Nyla Rose's music I like. Jericho's music I love.
And I loved on the cruise, like the people on the cruise were singing his music as he was
I didn't understand that at first when I was watching those, because the boat one was labeled, or the cruise one was labeled Bash at the Beach, and I was like, the one I watched a week before was Bash at the Beach. What is going on here? And I didn't realize it was part deux.
Yeah.
On the boat, which I thought was kind of sweet.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot because it felt very WCW.
Yeah.
And I'm not literally. I'm trying to say that because
when they used to go to like Panama Beach and stuff.
But yeah, it just you're out of. Oh, here's your orange flash drive, by the way. Like you're not staying to the standards. You're having fun with what you're doing, opposed to being like, well, we have to do this. I liked it a lot.
And I've seen some stuff where people are saying, you know, well, AEW can't keep WWE out of its mouth. They talk about WWE all the time. I'm like, number 2 always talks about number 1. You know, WCW did it when they were losing in the ratings. They gave away the show so people wouldn't tune into Raw. WWF talked about WCW when they were losing in the ratings. TNA talked about WWE all the time. Everybody does it. Until you're number 1, you're gonna talk about number 1.
Wendy's, Burger King, all of them talk about McDonald's. McDonald's doesn't talk about any of them.
They've never, in any of their ad campaigns, have never talked about another fast food joint, ever.
Because they're number 1.
Yeah. Coke doesn't fucking talk about Pepsi. Pepsi has done, you know, the commercials where, you know, the two delivery guys, you know, share a Pepsi. You know what I mean? But Coke doesn't do shit like that. So, for you to nitpick that AEW is going to say some stuff, most of these guys have been in WWE. Of course they're going to mention it.
And WWE's mentioned AEW, so
yeah,
get the fuck off it.
It seems like people kind of pick and choose, you know, and then when you mention that kind of shit, well, no, you're wrong. Well, fuck you, no, I'm not. I've watched this shit for, 30 years.
Because he's 56.
I know what I'm talking about. I've gone through shitloads of eras of wrestling. I know what I'm talking about. Sometimes.
I'll give you credit for that. Goddamn sun's in my eye when I lean this way, and I want to lean this way because it's the most comfortable way to lean.
So what did you think about your first experience of seeing Orange Cassidy, that character and everything wrestle?
The fucking boring-ass fucking gimmick. It doesn't do anything for me.
I thought that match, it was entertaining for a while, but that character is not going to last.
It paid off in the sense of, okay, you've been fucking stringing this guy along, making me think there was anything behind it, and there is something behind it, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care enough to be like, yes, I want to see him as the champion.
And that's going to get old with him doing the shin kicks, and it's just an excuse for the fans that are smart to his character to react to it. And him being the sidekick for best friends and doing little things here and there, that'll last.
I would like to see Mark Sherman.
Oh my God, Mark Sherman in this company would be fucking, yeah.
I think that would be great.
He would be so good in this company, it would be tremendous.
Yep.
I think a lot of CTWE people would do really well in this company.
I do too.
I mean, could you see the Battle Brothers being part of this tag division? It would be fucking amazing.
That would be cool.
You know what I mean? Like, think of them against the Dark Order, Ant Battle against Evil Uno and shit. I think
part of the Dark Order?
Yeah.
I could see that.
I think it would be...
What do you think of the Dark Order?
Since I know what's happened last week, okay. I love where it went.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell you because the reveal is actually really cool.
Of who the people are? You mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. But it just... I like that they're doing a group like that, and they've got they're building it really well. I like it. You know what I mean? At first I was like, this is just some indie team that they brought in, and they're not really gonna explain anything. But the way they've used social media and the videos and all that to make it seem
I like
cool,
that.
I think they're doing it well.
Right, I think that's what I like about it. Where I'm up to, I like that they're building it up, not just like they're putting effort into it.
Yeah,
it's not just this is like a cool, creepy new, bizarre thing that might work. It's like, no, they're really gonna try to put effort into this with their weird promos that they do, because they do a lot of promos for that, their vignettes and shit. And I like it. I like the direction they go with it. I haven't seen, obviously, up to where they reveal any... Who do they reveal? The main guy?
Yeah, the Exalted one, yeah. Yep.
Oh, not Evil Uno?
No. This guy's the actual leader.
Can I take a guess?
You can.
Is it someone of past wrestling years?
Yeah.
Someone from WWE?
Yes.
Someone from current WWE?
I don't want to spoil it.
I'm gonna guess it! Let's play.
I don't want to spoil it.
Let's play, because my reaction will be live right now! You see what you did? You see what you did? Is it... it's probably, Harper.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, he's gone back to Brody Lee, but everybody was expecting it to be Matt Hardy.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think.
So you know what I mean. So it was. But he came. If you want to, do you want to know what happened since you guessed it?
Yeah, I do.
They did like, because they had been teasing that it was Daniels. Daniels was going to turn. So they had Daniels come out.
No, don't tell me. I'm kidding.
They had Daniels come out and interrupt the Dark Order and say this is bullshit. There is no Exalted One and all this stuff. And then the video starts and it's like a distorted voice and just a guy in a thing that Daniels would wear. It's a full fucking thing with the hood, so you couldn't see who it was. And he's talking and the voice starts fading in and out, and then you can hear. Harper never really talked, so you didn't really get his voice, and he just started talking and saying, "I'm the Exalted One." And then he pulled the hood up, and you saw that it was Harper, and I was like, that's fucking really cool. But they didn't go with Matt Hardy, that they went with Harper.
To build him up, too, yeah.
And he's a guy that can build a lot of traction. I think that guy, he's a guy that was so underutilized.
That's cool.
And then he said, you're not the first old man that had no confidence in me, which I thought was a great dig at fucking Vince McMahon. I thought that was so cool. You know, and or out of touch old man, which I thought was a great,
I like that.
great way to phrase it. But I think having him as the Exalted One, and then they went to the arena, and when they went to the arena, Daniels turns around and Harper's behind him and gives him a big boot.
Now is he still the long hair and beard and all that? Yeah.
Yep. And he has like an eye, like Evil Uno's kind of mask on his trunks and stuff.
cool.
So he has like the long pants like he had when they were the Bludgeon Brothers kind of.
Oh, I forgot they even did that.
So yeah, I like it. And then they beat down SCU. You know what I mean? So I thought that was cool. And SCU is kind of a faction that they can, because three of them,
Christopher Daniels though, not no good in the ring anymore.
No, he's
lost a lot of touch.
And I like how they kind of they moved Scorpio Sky in to be the tag champs,
right?
And because it would have been cool to see the original Bad Influence and the Addiction as the tag champs, but yeah, Daniels is, and I think he knows it. Like you can just and he has name identity, so you want to keep him around, and he's really good on the mic, so
He's a ring general, like his gimmick is.
Yeah, so I get having him there, but yeah, he can't. I don't think he can carry much of a match anymore, and it's sad because he's given a lot to the business.
Oh yeah.
To me, he's kind of like Sabu. He's a guy that revolutionized stuff, but doesn't get enough of the credit. Really, in my opinion.
We've talked about this before. It still just blows my mind that he was the option for the higher power.
Yeah.
That's just crazy to think.
That had to be somebody that knew, like, the indie scene that just threw that name out there and, that it even got considered.
It's crazy.
I mean, he had done dark matches, and he was like, they did a SummerSlam, I think it was the TLC promo, that were the commercial they did for it with the Hardys and Lita. He was in that, where they were, like, on the mountain, and they had the wrestling ring, and there was guys wrestling in the background on the mountain, and they were like Lita and the Hardys were snowboarding and shit. But Daniels was one of the guys wrestling in the ring. So
I remember that.
But to know that he did stuff with the company is cool. But yeah, like you said, to think that he was I wish
it's kind of cool when you know that.
Yeah.
And you see because it was the pre-show for this Revolution that they show him come out in the robe and shit like that, and then they take the robe off, and you see it's Christopher Daniels. You don't know if he's good or bad.
Yeah.
And to me, knowing that at one point he's going to be the higher power is kind of cool to see. Like, it's like, oh, okay, that's what it would look like then.
Yeah. Yep.
That's kind of neat. Huge spine buster by the most charismatic superstar of them all, Kenny Omega. The Jets absolutely love him. They go crazy, and they want more of this man. But David the Deadly One is over him. Here comes the Hangman Adam Page with big forearms to Jack and Nick, the Young Bucks generation over.
Kenny Omega's about as charismatic as a bucket of paint. He's just...
Wow.
And I love to know that we saw Adam Page in Northeast Wrestling coming down with just generic trunks and a fucking trucker hat.
Like a John Deere hat, yeah.
And having great matches, and I love that I have him on that, that piece of table from the TLC match that they had and stuff, and, that he was in the Bullet Club, I could see him being a big star, if they got run with him, but the whole drinking thing, it reminds me so much of James Storm that it, I get it. He's a cowboy and he's got, he's carrying.
But do we have to be that stereotypic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like his character. I think he's good. He's good on the mic, and everything. It just having him with Omega, like you said, I way you explain it, I get it. But it just
it's you got to do something different.
Yeah.
Oh, Hangman with a huge moonsault to the outside of the ring, taking the Young Bucks down. Ivan Putski in the ring yelling to him, "Get in the ring, Boris!" Look at him, he looks pissed. I fucking landed that on my feet and no one's going crazy. What the hell? Goddamn wrestling fans, I'll do something else.
And I think stuff like that means more now because they have toned down a lot of the...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's why you don't see the Lucha Brothers in matches as much as they were. Because you're going to get used to that shit, and it's going to get old really quick.
We're going to do it right now. Name your favorite tag team in AEW.
Oh, man. I got to go with the Bucks. I've always liked the Bucks.
Lucha Brothers! I love them. They're my favorite. Name your favorite singles competitor that's a mid-carder.
Oh, man. Can we count Hager in that?
No.
No?
No. Only because he's such a badass.
Oh, fuck, man.
By that, I'll leave it as people that have even held a world championship in other companies.
Okay.
So that way, there's...
I gotta go with Dustin. Just what he's gotten better as he's gotten older.
Yeah.
And the quality of matches that he's putting on are fucking great.
I don't want to be biased and pick him, so I'm not going to. But it is a perfect choice. I would... MJF.
Yeah.
I know he's going to get main event status, but he's the most enjoyable.
Yeah.
I could watch him wrestle. I could watch him talk. It makes me wish that Bobby Heenan was alive to call his shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I feel like Bobby Heenan would love MJF.
Ventura, too, because Ventura was always the heel announcer. He would have been all over that.
So cool. Who's your favorite main eventer?
I say Moxley. I mean, but I think Moxley is coming into his own so much.
He's fantastic.
He's the character that he always should have been.
Yes. He is definitely out of the group that was known as the Shield. He is absolutely the shining star out of all three of them because of AEW. And I say that as in the sense of he got super famous in WWE, absolutely. But now he is at, and I'm going to say it like this, the Stone Cold Rock level. Like, if he ever goes back to WWE, he's never going to be known as Dean Ambrose again.
Yeah.
He'll always now be known as John Moxley.
And if he went back, he would make sure that he had his name. Like, I don't think he'd ever go back.
You'd always see this version of it then.
Yeah.
Like, of that character. And I think out of all the wrestlers that have come and gone and this and that, he will be the Stone Cold, and not so much because he's such a renegade and shit, but I keep saying Austin. He will be the Austin of this era.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be one of the names out of, like, your top 3 list that you're going to remember from this generation.
Yeah. And he's not doing the lunatic fringe. He's being unpredictable, yes, but it's
not being labeled as such a corny fucking concept.
They made it into a joke.
Right.
You know what I mean?
When you beat a dead horse so much...
When he was in the Shield, yes, he was frenetic and he was, crazy.
But then they allowed it to be his gimmick.
They bastardized it.
Yeah.
With cold calling him lunatic fringe every 5 seconds in his matches.
And then that's what you made all of his storylines about, is how this guy's crazy opposed to, no, this guy's got some points, he just does crazy shit to get the points across.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy it, I do. Who is your favorite babyface?
Favorite babyface? Oh, man. I got to say Darby Allin. I like Darby Allin. I do.
Boring. That's lame. That's a silly ass answer. My favorite babyface will be Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Because he went from undesirable to ungoddamn deniable! Who's your favorite heel?
MJF. MJ fucking F.
He is awesome, isn't he? Who's your favorite woman?
I like Statlander. I do. I really like Statlander.
She reminds me of a female Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
Just high energy. You could do cool shit with her, so AEW do cool shit with her. She's built.
Yeah.
I have a lot of fun with her.
And I think the alien thing is something that you can really run with if you want to. And merchandise potential for her, with doing alien, I really think they can go.
Because WWE wouldn't do anything with that.
No.
So you take it and make it cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Who's your favorite announcer?
Excalibur.
We are two different people. We're ending this now.
I
like Shivani!
Shivani, to me, he just adds comments. Like, he doesn't analyze anything.
I'm not used to him. I never was a WCW guy. So now that I got him, I like him.
And JR just is not, to me,
David. Boomer Sooner.
He's not doing good work. He has no passion for the product. And I know, like, in his podcast and on Twitter, he's been bitching about people saying he has no passion. Watching these shows, to me, feels like he has no passion for the product. He's forgetting people's names. He's
had 17 strokes.
He feels more comfortable, promoting his book and promoting his podcast on these shows than actually promoting the product, in my opinion. And I might be wrong. I might be in the minority on that.
Do you think they brought Taz in to slowly replace him?
I do. I really do. I don't think I think they're going to phase JR out a lot. I really do. They're going to use him on major matches and stuff. But I think Taz is going to take the lion's share of a lot of this stuff.
Now, I'm going to do my best, Taz. I'm done. That's not a good one. Do you think Taz is overplayed?
I don't know. Maybe because he's been in it so long and you're so used to seeing him in other companies, maybe?
And he's never done anything different. He is...
But my thing is he's been a wrestler, so he can analyze stuff a lot. He has the judo background, so he can talk about the MMA moves. You know what I mean? JR just kind of... He knows about MMA, but he doesn't... Taz can throw shit in there. That's a Jujigatami and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like
JR's thing is he's stuck commentating for the 90s, early 2000s. Yeah.
You know, it's like he needs King there to kind of to be the joke, to play the jokes and to play off of.
But with Taz, my thing is he has never done. I know he can't physically do anything or whatever the fuck his issue is, but he hasn't done anything other than commentate, literally. I mean, even Michael Cole does things.
Yeah.
Other commentators do physical things. Taz, I'm just tired of hearing your fucking voice, bro.
And even like when he was supposed to be Samoa Joe's mentor, he really did. He did it for like a couple months, and then
that was exactly.
You know what I mean? Then he went straight to just doing commentary.
I mean, it was cool. The change up when he was the Aces and Eights bad guy.
But even then, he didn't show up with them. He just did the commentary for it, you know? Yeah, I get that.
That's my only downside with Taz, because I don't know. Just give me... If you can bring something more to the table, I would really like that. But if not, you're just an older name just to use an older name.
But I feel like kind of that's what JR is.
No, I get that. I do.
I think if you had just Excalibur and Shivani, I know you don't like Excalibur, but to me, the two-man booth with Excalibur who can call all the moves, and then Shivani who can analyze a little bit more than he's doing now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it feels like they try to get JR to talk, and then Shivani's just there.
Right.
You know, I love Shivani. He's one of my favorite commentators of all time. He gave so much emotion to WCW back in the day. You know,
that'll put butts in seats.
Yeah, but it's just when the NWO was hot, he was that guy that was the WCW announcer, and he had so much weight to it, you know, because he had been with the NWA and all that, you know. So, but
I was expecting that to break.
The announce team to me, it's a revolving door too. They just keep, you know, Taz does some and JR does some, and you know what I mean, like.
Yep.
And then you pull Tony away to do some of these side interviews with, you know, with Britt and, you know, Britt Baker and all this stuff. Why don't you have other announcers on staff? Why aren't they doing this? Like, just so she can bust on Tony to turn heel? Have her bust on the announcers.
Right.
Rock used to do it to Coach all the fucking time.
Which I do like that. I do like that they have Shivani doing interviews with people, but I get your point there, too, of changing it up a bit.
Yeah.
In that regards. Because, again, with Shivani, I like seeing him because I didn't get to see him a lot growing up.
Yeah.
But I do know where you're coming from in that.
And then, to me, they're doing 90% of things right, and there's just certain things you can nitpick, and that's what we're doing. I mean, we are nitpicking, not to the point that some people do, but we enjoy. Overall, I love the product.
I do too.
It's such a great alternative. You know, as many frustrations as I have about WWE, to see a company that cares about the fans more than anything. You know, I can't say enough good stuff about the product. And they're not overplaying their big stars. Like the Young Bucks, like you said, could have been pushed down our throat from the beginning, and they haven't. Kenny Omega really hasn't.
No, I mean, Jesus, his first 2 pay-per-views, he lost both of them or whatever, and all that.
And if you wanted to go off of him being big in Japan, you could have thrown him right with Jericho at the beginning because they had that huge feud in Japan.
And that's what I thought. You know, coming into watching this stuff. That's what I thought it was going to be, because that's all I heard about was Kenny Omega and Jericho in Japan, and I kept thinking, all right, well, I'm down for it, but I'm over it already before I even see it.
Yeah.
And then they completely changed it. They did a complete 360 with these characters, and I don't know if that's for the better or the worse, but for me, I prefer it, because I really do enjoy a lot of the characters or wrestlers that I used to not.
Yeah.
I actually enjoy them now, or the ones that I didn't think I'd enjoy, I do.
And like Moxley, they didn't...
See, there's some excitement like that. Yeah. There it is, there.
But it just... Moxley wasn't really... I mean, they made him a big deal, but it wasn't like he was thrust right into the main event status in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like Hager... They're bringing him up really well. He's going to be a big deal, but having him under the learning tree of Jericho makes a lot of sense to me.
Yep. You know,
being the heater, and then eventually maybe he'll turn on Jericho or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I really think I don't know who Khan is listening to. I think he's listening to a lot of Cody. You know what I mean? Like,
I wouldn't doubt that.
You know what I mean? And then you've got Arn Anderson in the back and Dean Malenko, who...
And Tully.
And you know that they were in that WWE system, and they were sick of it. And they want to see something fresh. And they probably were throwing out ideas that were getting shit on. You know what I mean?
Good ideas.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I can totally see, where they're getting he's getting his advice from. And
now, what's Jericho's contract with them?
I don't know.
No idea.
I would imagine it's an exclusive one. I don't know if
because I'm just curious, where are they going right now, championship-wise? Because what am I, probably 3-4 weeks behind?
Something like that. I mean, Moxley's champ, but
right, I know that, but I mean, what are they? Are they having Jericho and him feud still?
Fuck, I don't. To be honest, I don't remember what they're doing with the champ right now, the championship. Fuck, I don't know. Because they were leading into doing a War Games style cage match.
They got the rights to War Games?
No, TNA kind of did it with Lethal Lockdown and shit, so they're still going to do it. But they're postponing it because of the outbreak, and they want to do it in front of a crowd.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that kind of match, you want to do it in front of a crowd.
Right, you need the energy behind it.
So I think they were kind of leading towards that with the Inner Circle, against the Elite. So I think they're kind of putting the championship on the back burner for that, but I haven't really seen a lot of that.
That's cool.
You know what I mean? So yeah, but I mean, I'm sure Jericho eventually will get a rematch, but maybe they won't go that route. Maybe they'll bring somebody up to face Moxley. You know,
right? Because I often wonder, even before Jericho lost the title, once he loses it, is he going to get it back, or is he that's him passing the torch, and he's kind of going to set sail after that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think he's pretty much all in as far as this promotion. I think
he's so goddamn good.
It's breathed new life into him. The stuff with him and Owens and the list and all that was funny, but this is
Jericho.
His true personality is coming through. When we've met him, he was nice, but I feel like there's a lot of this being a dick in him.
Mm-hmm.
You listen to his podcast and stuff, he has an ego, and he has a huge ego, and you can see it, in this character. I do too. But you can see that he, in certain aspects of his life, he is a fucking dick,
and
you can tell.
He's enjoying the shit out of this. And it's got to be really cool in his perspective to know. When I'm speaking in him, as him, when I started wrestling, I was in Japan, I was in China, or in Japan and Mexico. Then when I got big, I was in ECW, and then I was in WCW. And then you had the assholes on top, the old veterans that were holding all the young guys down, including myself. You go to WWE, I get over, I become huge, first ever undisputed world champion, whatever the hell it was.
Stone Cold and The Rock in the same night.
Yep. Going on to hold the championship, a dozen more times, whatever it was. But then, now being like almost 50, going into a brand new company, first ever champion, carrying it for 6-7 months?
Yeah.
And still not just being like the man you used to be, but being the man you used to be and then the guy you are now. And to think how the old veterans used to hold him down.
Yeah.
And now he is that old veteran that is like pulling the young guys up.
Yep.
I love it. I love it.
And none of it has gotten stale.
No.
Every bit of it has been entertaining.
Every second. I enjoy every second of Inner Circle, Jericho. He is the greatest of all time. He is literally the greatest of all time. When it comes
down to it, it might,
I don't know any wrestler that has continued. Ric Flair continued, he continued well after he should have. Was great well after he should have been. But didn't climb to newer heights.
Yep.
He peaked, and then he stayed at that peak. I don't even think Ric Flair at his worst when he was older still wrestling was ever at his worst when he was in his prime and his worst. He was always great.
Yep.
Jericho has gotten better and better. Like you said, and I just think he is the greatest of all time. Like, for me, Triple H is my favorite. JBL is the greatest WWE champion of all time, in my own personal reference, just because I just think that's awesome. Ric Flair is the greatest professional wrestling champion of all time, and Chris Jericho is the greatest professional wrestler of all time. In those different types of categories, if I can break it down and have that make sense.
And also, he used to have a set move list that he did. He did the drop kick, to the guy that was on the apron and shit like that. He's completely changed everything every time he's reinvented himself. Yeah. Other than doing like the Walls of Jericho and shit, but even that, he turned it into just a regular Boston Crab. He wasn't, pulling all, it just, yeah.
I think he's the greatest.
And like doing the back elbow now as a finisher when he could be doing the code breaker.
Yep.
He's the way he's reinvented himself every time is just,
and the fact that he's like the Fozzy Jericho version now. I love it. I love it. Because in the difference is, okay, someone can say, well, he was like the Rockstar version in WWE too. Okay, fair enough. But that version was the glittery, light bright jacket rock band version. This is like the Rock version.
Yeah.
Being
the rock star with the little bit of bubbly and, having an entourage and all that shit. Yep, totally. Yeah. He's doing everything right.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I can't wait for the AEW Chris Jericho action figure.
Yep. I really hope they have a wide distribution in all kind of stores, and I want to be working the toy section in Walmart and see the fucking AEW action figures and being excited for to stock them. You know what I mean?
I used to get excited when I would see the TNA ones in stores because it was just like, wow, that's cool.
And I hope that they start doing DVDs of their events and all that. And,
I do too.
And they seem that they're rolling out this kind of stuff. The action figures are coming out kind of quick, like 6 months into the promotion, but still.
The video game.
Yeah.
There's this huge talk. Kenny Omega is huge into trying to get this video game going. I don't know who the fuck it is specifically, but the people from, I think it's No Mercy, and 64 one are the ones that want to do it.
And if it is retro, that's even fucking better.
That is cool. I would prefer it to be modern, like at least look modern. It can have an arcade playout.
Yeah. But I think
But either way, I think this is cool. I think it'd be very, very, very
And I mean, to know that Ring of Honor has never had a video game. TNA did, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But, to know that a company that's this fresh and is getting all this and doing so well,
Am I really wrong, though, to say, and I'm not saying this in a negative way, but from what I've seen and experienced through watching it on DVD, is it fair to say that this does feel like WCW?
Oh, yeah, totally. And any company that opposes WWE is going to feel that way.
I don't want it to be, because TNA didn't feel like that to me. I mean, it did, but it did.
Yeah, sometimes it did, yeah.
But this just feels very, like you said, to a lesser degree, but you said, they care about the wrestling and the crowd. And you can see that with the production, because it's not over the top.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still...
You've got the pyro, and you've got the cool video packages, and the ramp. And,
early 2000s, wrestling was like, this is how it should stay. It shouldn't progress. Because WWE now, their entrances are fucking stupid.
Yep.
There's no meaning behind anything. It's just the fact that, we've been doing this for so long, we just have to keep doing it. There's no, let's keep putting effort into it. Where this... Just simple, that entrance looks awesome to me.
Yeah.
It reminds me of TNA. It just, I don't know, I love it. I love this. I really do love this.
And to know that they care about their athletes with giving them health insurance and shit.
Yeah.
All that stuff. They're treating them like employees, not as independent contractors.
Yep.
And that a wrestling fan is running it, and he's doing it well. He doesn't have a huge ego, well, as far as I can tell, like Vince McMahon does, and he's, listening to the people around him, and not just making his own fucking decisions,
right. Totally just thinking off topic. They announced somebody new for the Hall of Fame.
They announced a British Bulldog.
Yes, that's who it was.
Yeah, which is cool.
That is
long
cool.
Time coming, I don't know when they're going to do it, because they canceled most stuff for WrestleMania, so, but, even that can't save that fucking Hall of Fame class.
No.
It's just...
And and it's all a farce anyways. It's not a real Hall of Fame, essentially, but
until they do a physical building, with memorabilia in it and shit, with the plaques hanging and all that stuff.
Because it's whoever Vince wants.
Yeah.
Opposed to, I don't want to say who actually contributed, because every single fucking person in that Hall of Fame, in their own right, I'll just leave it at that, have contributed something one way or another. But, like British Bulldog, I am kind of shocked.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, finally he stopped pissing off somebody in that family.
Yeah.
Or whatever the reasoning is.
But, the fucking Bellas, that...
Yeah.
I knew it was coming because it had been rumored, but it just... fucking horrible.
She's got really thick legs.
I like the character. I think it's really something they can expand on a lot. And
yeah, it's not just another woman coming in that's got, what's she about? And then, she was just nothing.
Or like you said, the chick that does the Freddie Mercury kind of thing. It makes no sense. But this... I like this. I think it works really well. It's something different than, all the Japanese women, which I like. I like Hikaru Shida. I like her. And, Riho is kind of like their fucking Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
And the underdog, But
she is fun to watch.
Yeah.
But she just looks like what a woman's wrestler should look like. Not built, jacked, but just
a Molly Holly kind of.
Yeah, bigger.
Yeah.
You could take her serious.
Yep. And doesn't have to be a monster like Nyla Rose.
Exactly. I love this music. I like her whole presence. Let the bitch be a bad bitch.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yep.
I like the Deathstroke mask. That's cool.
Yeah,
I like this. I really dig it.
This company, to me, is firing on not all cylinders, because there is some things, but it has so much momentum, and...
Like, I feel like AEW is what TNA transitioned into. I know it didn't literally.
Right.
But I would like to think that. If TNA wasn't shit, like it is now,
yeah.
I'd like to think the Khans bought Impact Wrestling and then just turned Impact Wrestling into AEW.
Yeah, took all the great parts about it and
right.
made it, yeah, yep.
Because there's a lot of Impact wrestlers like that aren't in WWE or AEW, or that I don't really see anymore, that I would like to see in this company, because I know they would like do good. Like, I think the Beautiful People would be a cool fit to this, because they're not that Barbie doll, they're the badasses. I would like to see them. I don't know if I'd actually like to see them in AEW, but I could see characters like that.
I'd like to see Motor City Machine Guns for a little while.
I could see people like that WWE would be like, oh, they look good, flash in the pan good, where they would actually get a little use and mileage out of them in here. Like, I think it would be cool. I was thinking of this. Well, this was actually a while ago. We've recorded since then, but just someone like, and I know this is so like just ridiculous, but I would love just to see it, even though it's not going to happen, Batista show up in AEW.
Right.
Like, someone like that with such power behind them, we're like, holy fuck, what am I watching right now?
Yep.
And I was thinking Batista because I was watching Guardians, this was a while ago, and I was thinking that. And it'd be like, wow, that would just be so fucking like... And not even have him come in, and do like a Goldberg thing where he comes in. Just have him come in and just muscle people around. And just be like, oh, you guys think you're wrestlers? Well, you gotta, there's no rhyme or reason why he's there. Just have him sign a contract, throw him in the mix.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would love to see that shit. 'Cause I really love this shit.
I would love to see Anderson.
Yeah.
I think Anderson would be a perfect fit for this company.
Exactly.
You throw him in a feud with Jericho and just let them fucking go.
Yep. Someone like him would be perfect.
Or even as a babyface against MJF. Those two going back and forth.
Yep. Yep.
Saying to MJF, I was the original asshole. You're just trying to be one.
Right. You're just a carbon copy of it.
There's so many possibilities. And who's to say that those people won't, not Batista, but, some of those people won't be factored in at some point.
Exactly. Like, it's only a matter of time before Matt Hardy comes in.
Yeah.
Matter of time. What are they doing right now with Archer and Roberts?
I'm not that far caught up on it, but if they're going with him against Cody, that's going to be a huge fucking storyline, so.
Well, the last thing I saw was Cody was wrestling somebody? I don't remember who it was. And, Roberts came out ringside with Archer, but they didn't do anything. They just walked.
He did like an in-ring promo where he said, "Cody, I'm not coming for a spot. I'm coming for your spot." So Archer's going to take Rhodes' spot. You know what I mean? And Roberts is going to talk for him or be his representative.
That's
which
cool,
I think,
though.
yeah. And I'm sure Roberts is doing stuff behind the scenes because he's just got such a good mind for the business.
Why is half of his head bald?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know
if that was a thing or not.
I don't know. Maybe he's like getting half chemo treatments. I don't know.
I just didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
No, but a veteran like him, I love being involved in DDP being involved.
Yep.
And, they're really handpicking really good people.
It's people that WWE didn't want to take a chance with.
Yep.
Or again, who Vince just had issues with. Which it's like, you can... Because that's the one thing I'm sick of WWE is... Like, the last 10 years or so, you can only go back to the same legends.
Yeah.
Before it's like, Jesus Christ. Like, this is just obnoxious. And I get it. A lot of them are dying. A lot of the really old, great legends that you used to rely on are dying. But
then you do like a Raw reunion, and Sid comes in for like 5 seconds, and you're like, why aren't you using him?
Was he really on their reunion?
One of them, yeah.
No shit.
When he attacked Heath Slater at one of them.
I don't remember
I think it was the 15-year one. But why aren't you using him to just do some stuff?
Right.
Just to
running on Rumble and shit like that. Exactly.
Like, why aren't? Yeah.
Yep.
Like, it was cool when the Dudleys came back and shit, but why weren't you bringing Spike in at that point too?
Exactly.
Just throw those
utilize your shit.
Yeah. Even if it's for a 3-month run, like, just utilize guys that you know have some weight and some...
Because it's going to build up whoever you're playing them off of.
Yep. Like a guy like Raven, who has so much depth to his character.
Yeah.
You could have used him against Bray Wyatt and not really done matches. Just to do something, you know.
Right.
Hell, you could have had him feed Sabu to Bray Wyatt instead of actually wrestling. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Like stuff like that. It's like they don't. For one thing, they definitely don't have wrestling people writing for them. So, and like when Brian Gewirtz was writing for him, you could tell that he was a wrestling fan. He got it.
Right.
But these writers, they're just pulling. They got to be just pulling guys off the street from Hollywood and stuff that know nothing about the product.
Exactly.
Nothing about the history of it.
Story.
Like if you had a guy like Corey Graves booking it, the product would be fucking great in my opinion because he knows the history.
Yeah,
of the business
it blows my mind how people get placed around in that company. Because like you would think someone like a Matt Stryker would be a behind the scenes creative guy.
I think it's a lot of it is people get so frustrated with dealing with Vince McMahon, they just don't want to do it.
I dip my company ink in the stink. I'm a bastard.
I mean, if you go to him and you give him an idea and he just, sloughs it off, and then you're like, well, why? Why am I giving him,
anything?
Yeah, I mean, if he's just not even gonna listen to one thing I say, why even try?
Right.
And I mean, like the New Day, I'm sure they have the backbone now because they're established. They go to him and say, hey, we want to do this, we want to do that.
And plus, they're black, and if he doesn't give them their way, they can say it's because we're black.
Well, yeah, that too.
I'm not racist, I'm just saying.
Or a guy like Lesnar who puts it in his contract that, he does what he wants to do and shit like that, but I'm sure Heyman gets frustrated as fuck throwing ideas.
Well, let me tell you, I'm a fucking walrus, and I created ECW. I'm a genius. Fuck Tommy Dreamer. I don't bounce checks, just bitches. That's my Paul Heyman. Is that okay?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. You've added your repertoire of
I
people.
am a Jew. That's what I've been. That's
my father is a lawyer. I'm a Jew.
I will sue you for being correct, sir. Whoa, Mr. McMahon. We all know who that one is.
Yeah.
We're going on 2 hours here. How long are we recording for? How long do you want to go?
I don't know. Is there really that much, other than talking about the matches, is there really that much left to go into?
What? I mean, I know we're not going to record the whole time for this because it's still, quite a while. Do you have anything else on your...
Not really. I mean, we talked about WrestleMania already, and it looks like a shit fucking show. I mean, Shayna Baszler's going to beat fucking Becky Lynch. Owens and Rollins, I'd kind of like to see that match. They're doing Edge and Orton last man standing. But without a fucking crowd, to me, that falls flat, too.
Exactly.
They should have postponed it. To me, it has no... And for McIntyre, he's finally getting to where he wanted to be, and there's going to be no fucking crowd to react. If he wins the title, he's going to be holding up the belt to nobody.
Right, because they already know going into it. It's already predetermined. So your reaction is based off of the fans' unknown reaction.
Yeah.
You knowing, all right, I'm going to win this match, and I'm going to have to even fake my reaction at the end of it because there's no one here to even just fuel me to make me feel like, yes, this is it.
Yep.
That would be... It sucks! It's a fucking fluke! It's a sham! It's a goddamn waste of time!
And even AEW has been doing the not empty arena. They've been having some of the wrestlers...
Or what do you mean?
No, they've been having some of the wrestlers outside the ring, so at least the wrestlers in the ring have somebody to play off of.
Yes.
Even if it's just a few guys like QT Marshall was out there and and MJF was out there at some point. Like, at least there's somebody for them to play off of a little bit.
Yep.
There's going to be fucking nobody. In the Performance Center, how is that a WrestleMania feel at all?
Yeah.
It just, and I know, we're spreading it over 2 days, it's a big event. No, it's really not.
So what do they have to, like, pay back Tampa Bay?
I think because they waited long enough where Tampa Bay told them to cancel it, they're going to get insurance money out of it. You know what I mean? Because it's beyond their control, really.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's the pandemic, and they waited, to I don't know if they think that them still doing it is their way of recovering something off of it, but it's such a bad decision, I think. And for a company that has no momentum behind it,
right,
you're taking 5 steps back, in my opinion, with this. I don't know. I plan on watching it, but it just, I don't know, man. I have no excitement for it whatsoever.
Yeah, we could, when is it?
Next weekend. Or no, 2 weeks. Actually, it starts on my birthday, April 4th, so. But
okay, well, that Tuesday or Wednesday after that,
okay.
I know you have the day off from both. You normally do anyways. Depending on how many hours it is,
yeah,
we can plan on doing a watch along. If you want to do that,
maybe just record certain matches.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like, because doing the whole thing, I think we'd be gassed by the end of it.
Right.
You know
That's why I'm saying we'll have to figure out
which matches we want to do and
what the time length of it all is. And
yeah,
exactly.
So, I mean, we could have it recording and just when we feel like discussing something, discuss it, and I could kind of cut it a little bit and not do it as a straight up watch along, but just cut when we talk together. You know what I mean? Just the basic points that we make and kind of just cut it into a show. Or if we pick certain matches.
What we can do is, what we'll do is we will watch, like we'll get it on a flash drive or whatever, get a listing of what matches are going to be.
Pick which one.
Well, we'll watch the whole thing or however we want to watch it, but say Undertaker and AJ Styles, we want to watch that. We're recording it. And then up next is Becky Lynch and Shayna Baszler, but we don't want to record. We can just pause.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Pause that. Either watch that match, fast forward through it, and then just play again.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I get. Yeah. Okay.
Just cut out as we're going.
All right, I got it. Yeah.
Because I'm okay with that. Okay. Not watching the whole thing, just watching what matters.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with that.
Okay. Because, like, I figure Owens and Rollins is going to go a long time, and, like, watching that and trying to, comment on that is kind of going to, Goldberg and Reigns probably isn't going to go long. No. So, and it's going to be horrible, so it'll be fun to kind of, to shit on that, so,
The Orton and Edge one I do look forward to.
Yeah, I do. To see where they're, how much Edge can actually do.
Yeah.
And it's a match that does have some history to it, which makes sense, so, But
yep, I agree.
I think it'll be fun to watch it, just to see what it becomes, but I just...
Yeah, it's more now just to see what it's going to be like, opposed to I'm excited for Mania.
Yeah, because it's not going to have a big set. It's just, I think it's a horrible, horrible decision on all levels. You could have postponed it and just, let everybody that had a ticket use that ticket later.
Right, you should have moved WrestleMania to, like, 2 months from now.
Yeah. I mean, you're telling me that Tampa Bay isn't going to keep the stadium open for you? I mean, it's not like they've got any football games going on or anything. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what they're thinking.
I think that's just Vince. I've never shut down before, and I'm not gonna now.
Yeah, and it's not like you had to cancel it. Just fucking postpone it.
Are they still doing Monday Night Raws and shit?
Like, they're doing it with nobody in the building. Oh. They're doing it to no crowd. The whole build up to WrestleMania has had no fucking crowd the past 3 weeks. And you've still got 2 more weeks of doing that.
How do they come out and even just act like?
Yeah, that's why you have nobody to play off of but the camera. And even like the announcer, Michael Cole was the only announcer. They had Triple H come out and do announcing with him just because they had nobody else. And Triple H was actually really funny. Like, he was cutting down Michael Cole, saying, you know, I'm more interesting than you and you've never been interesting, shit like that. You know, but it just, it's been horrible.
That is, I mean, it's just reaction. I don't know, I understand how you can go out there and do shit to no reaction, because to me, no reaction means you're not doing your job, and if there's nobody at your fucking job to react to, then you don't have a job to do.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to do that, you might as well just do that all the time. Just have, you know, a small arena with no fucking crowd, and just do crowds for your pay-per-views. I mean, AEW has been doing empty arena ones, but they, like I said, they've had a few wrestlers, but they're not building up to anything right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're building up to fucking WrestleMania. You should have postponed it and said, hey, we're going to put matches on and stuff like that, but we're not going to be doing any of the build-up to WrestleMania.
Yep.
We'll wait until, you know, we can get crowds back in and it means something. You know? It's like, we have to do these things. We have to. It has to be done.
And if they like, just change the name of it instead of it being WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Call it, you know, your pregame special WrestleMania Mania. I don't even know. Come up with something stupid, because people are going to understand it.
Yeah.
People are going to understand, oh, okay, well, it is WrestleMania, but it's not because they want to save WrestleMania. So do something and then completely flip shit on its head. Have whatever you were going to do at Mania, basically do that, but reverse it. Or don't do that. I mean, if you were going to have Roman Reigns win, don't have him win.
Yeah.
At this special. Have Goldberg win it again and be like, oh, fuck, Goldberg beat him? Well, now I definitely know Roman Reigns is going to win at Mania. Or whatever. You know, really hype that shit up. I mean, it is weird.
And it just seems to me like there is no pump the brakes on something. It's always, we have to do these things. It has to be done. We can't change anything.
Right. We can't change anything.
And then you look at stuff like the Attitude Era and even the Ruthless Aggression Era, where you could tell stuff was changing all the time. Like, they weren't always set into something. And it just feels like they have no fucking clue.
Right. I agree.
And then I watch NXT, and that has some direction to it, and it's actually a fun product to watch. And you realize that's in the same fucking company. And how is that even possible?
Right. Yep.
I truly love the build up to this match.
Yeah, I like all of this.
And like, you knew this was where it was going, because you knew MJF wasn't going to stay, you know, anywhere close to being a good guy.
Yep.
You know, so, but still, the way they've done it, I think is really, really good. And for Cody, you know, that he'll never be world champion or never fight for the world title, that's such a great way of building it too. That you robbed him of that, and
that really does look like his.
It does.
I love it. It's a little bit lighter in color, but.
And I like that Cody is just expanding what he does so much, and it just, on the mic, you can see how good he is, and how much of his father he has in him. I mean, he got more Dusty than Dustin did.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Dustin got the looks.
Yeah. I mean, he had charisma when he was Goldust, but he had to be somebody else for that charisma. Mm-hmm. Cody's just being himself.
Right.
With that charisma. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I like that. I like that steel cage a lot.
And it's not like the middle of it is not right in the middle of the camera view. So
no, right. Exactly. I know what you're saying.
So they spaced it out enough so it's not fucking with the camera view.
So was this Wardlow? Was he like a big deal on the Indies or something? Or
I've never heard of him before this.
Ugh.
And that's gotta hurt like fucking hell. I mean, I can't imagine.
The one he got across the chest though was so gingerly.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it stung because it's still leather and all that good shit, but it was.
That one from Wardlow, he fucking laid that one.
Yeah, that one right there was pretty chintzy.
But I think because he was worried about hitting him in the face.
And he walked right into it, too.
And knowing that we saw Cody do a moonsault off a cage against Kurt Angle years before this is fucking tremendous.
It is cool.
Yeah, I love the look of Dynamite. I think it has, you know, the the WWE kind, you know, has the Tron and it has the lights, but it just still has a different feel than WWE.
It feels like it looks like it's still early 2000s. It's just HD.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it has to be all these crazy lights or whatever the fuck WWE is. It doesn't feel like it's that. It feels like they care about the product.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it.
It's like they're not overthinking things. They're keeping it simple, but making it look really good.
Yep. Putting your money where it really matters, opposed to, oh wow, look at that.
Yep.
Like, you're putting your money in the right places, and I just think it's great.
The one thing they need a secondary title like the Intercontinental.
Yeah, they do. They do.
But you need something for those other guys, like Shawn Spears. He's got Tully Blanchard with him. Give him a mid-card title to go after, or else he's just on the card to me.
Yeah, you need like a TV title or something.
Yeah, and then when you bring like Japanese guys in and shit, they can fight for that title too. You know, stuff like that. I think they really do need they need a secondary title. But to me, the robe does not fit his character.
The robe doesn't, but I understand, and I'm glad he doesn't do it. Like, if he's doing it for a pay-per-view, I get it.
Right.
Because it's...
But it looks too much like the Miz's to me. Like, I don't... With the scarf and him coming out well-dressed all the time, to me, it just...
If the scarf was more prominent in that, like, if it draped down in front like a scarf, like kind of how, like, Christopher Daniels used to do it a little bit. But I get it. I like it because he's the regal bad boy. Like, he's, you know, just better than you. And it doesn't bother me, but if it was an everyday outfit,
right,
it would drive me nuts. It really would. Because it's like Bobby Roode. Okay, why? What do you need the fucking robe for every time you come out? You don't even need
unless you're going to be completely copying Ravishing Rick Rude.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Yep. Which I think was what they were going to go for when he grew the fucking mustache and shit, you know. And then they were just like, fuck it. And it ain't going to work.
Yeah, they're not doing nothing with him now.
He would be a great guy for here.
Yeah, he would.
I think EC3 would be a great guy for here.
Joe would be.
Oh, Joe would fucking kill it.
Wow. I just don't like this intro. I don't like the music that goes with it.
And if he's never going to be world champion, having him this big of a deal, I don't know. For him to be the one that gets this kind of entrance, like Jericho doesn't even really get this kind of entrance.
Right.
You know,
I love that shirt. That's the shirt I want.
Okay.
Because that is 100% Metal Gear Solid right there, Foxhound. Oh my god, I love that fucking shirt. I love that shirt. Like, I'll show you the logo for Foxhound.
Yeah, This to me reminds me way too much of Triple H's WrestleMania entrances when they used to do the music and the lighting and all that stuff. And
it doesn't remind me of anybody particular. It just, like you said, if it doesn't go anywhere, what's the point of the grandiose? Like, it's too over the top for a character that's so grounded.
Yeah. I mean, that introduction is for somebody that is full of themselves and is pretty much a heel.
Yep.
Like, to me, that's a heel entrance.
That shirt right there is badass as fuck. Okay, get me out of this. Not gonna.
And for him to get, like somebody playing into the ring, like
it's cool.
I would love to see Jericho with a fucking wireless mic, having Fozzy backing him up, singing himself. How arrogant is that? Singing himself to the ring.
I don't even think that's arrogant at this point because the crowd is so into that.
But I mean, as far as character, I'm gonna sing myself to the ring. Fuck you people, I'm gonna drown you out.
Done that.
Yeah,
she is sexy.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to see them do something with Stephen Amell, really.
Yeah. Well, I know he's doing a show about being a heel wrestler.
Yeah, yep.
So I wouldn't doubt that he's getting these guys to be in it. Like that whole posse. Like, who is that? Why is that there?
Yeah. Yeah, you don't explain any of that. Yeah, yep. Yeah, other than Stephen Amell and Dustin and Double A, I don't know who any of the other guys are.
No.
And, like, if there is trainers and shit, why aren't you saying that? Like, as coaches and shit? Like, what? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's exactly the same.
It's exactly the same thing. I want that shirt. I really like it.
I mean, this is the same band that did Dolph Ziggler's music, did the Miz's music.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep.
That's funny.
Yeah. And QT Marshall, a guy that meant nothing in Ring of Honor, and
I've never heard of him till I started watching AEW.
I love that Arn Anderson with the fucking.
I do too.
And, like a head coach of a fucking football team and have the laminated fucking playbook.
And how WWE never used him.
I don't know what it was, man. It's the Four Horsemen thing. If Flair hadn't have been who Flair was, it's like because they were NWA and they were against us, and they, like Tully Blanchard, how you never brought him back ever after he went back to was going to go back to WCW.
Yeah, exactly.
The guy that can talk and that kind of charisma, it's like the Jim Crockett Promotions guys. They just didn't ever want again.
Did you see that there's talks of Hogan coming back and doing another run? Did you see the pic? Obviously not. There's pictures of him online at the gym. Dude, he is clearly juicing.
Oh, he's got to be.
He is bigger than The Rock.
He can barely fucking walk. He's got to be juicing.
Bigger than The Rock in these pictures. He's flexing. His arms are. I'm like, they show him working out. He's got a full white.
I've seen the white beard. I've seen the white beard.
Because there's rumors that they want him for the Hall of Fame, not whether it's going to happen or how it's going to happen, to come back with the NWO and formulate a new NWO.
Yeah.
Which I could see that. It makes sense wrestling storyline wise of like, okay, these old guys would want a new group. They don't want to, let the past die. But it's almost like you're like 2 decades too late.
And what do you want to break your back in the middle of the ring? Like
you should have done this at least when Sting was here.
Yep.
That would have been like at least more normal than waiting another 5 years.
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck it is.
That's one guy that just cannot fucking let go.
Hogan?
Yeah. And Flair is the same way, but at least he can have matches.
I look at Hogan as, how do you? When you have been hyped up as the biggest name in the world.
Yeah.
How do you let go?
But to know, okay, I'm a character and I can be a character, but don't have any more fucking matches or do anything like that.
Right.
Maybe throw a couple punches or something.
Come back and just be a manager.
Yeah.
You can. If you can take a bump, let that be where you take the bumps.
Yeah.
But I mean, the pictures they were showing and I'm like, holy fuck.
When his last run, his arms were hanging. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Oh, they show him like at the beach. He's just. It's like there's no way.
Yeah. And the guy with the back as bad as his to be pushing that kind of weight to get to be able to have that kind of muscularity again. Yeah, you've got to be on something.
Crazy.
Yep. I don't want to see him do it. I don't, That's like at this point, Austin. he's been gone for so long and done so little. When they've actually needed him to do things, he hasn't done it.
To where it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, I don't... The glass would break, and he would come out, and he'd have a match. And
it'd be awesome because it's Austin, you get to see it, but it's not going to have that oomph that they want you to have.
I mean, who are you going to have him wrestle?
Right.
You know, are you going to try to use him to build up a star? Because it's not going to work.
You're not going to have anybody get over on Austin, ever. It doesn't matter how old he gets.
Yep. Yeah. Some of these guys just...
Like, I thought it was cool at the pre-show they had Colt Cabana come out.
Yeah.
That was pretty sweet. I was like, that is pretty awesome. I mean, and he's obviously not a Stone Cold Steve Austin or nothing. But it was still cool that they're not relying on him on, like, the main card. It was just like, oh, we're in Chicago? Yeah, here's fucking Colt Cabana.
I think he's a guy that they'll move into, like, because they do the AEW Dark and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a guy that they'll move into commentary because he did a lot of stuff with Ring of Honor. So
yeah,
I think Colt Cabana is a guy that...
Now, does he not wrestle, like, consistently?
No, he does indies and stuff, but he's one of those guys that has... made sure he's taking care of his body and stuff, and that's why he went into the comedy, doing more of the comedy matches, because he figured, hey, if I can get over just doing this shit instead of taking all these bumps, I'm gonna fucking do it.
I like him. I like Colt Cabana a lot.
But when he has to do a serious match, he goes all out on it. That's cool. So yeah, I liked him.
Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, like that match he had with Matt Stryker was fucking entertaining.
Yeah,
as hell at Northeast Wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll always like Colt.
Is it just me, or does Cody look really fucking weird with the weight belt?
I don't mind the weight belt. I like it because it's throwback to me. It makes me think of the guys that I do enjoy. Hogan, Macho Man, my Ryback. I think, though, and I was not specifically with Cody, but I think the weight belt is more to hide your gut than anything. Because Jericho now wears it, and he's, like, fat as fuck. Hogan was never really super ripped. I mean, the golden years he was, but as he got older and started wearing the weight belt, because you're not. What is the practicality of it in a wrestling match?
Also, I think it's so you don't have to keep pulling up your tights,
right?
If they're you know what I mean. Hogan, because he was wearing the long tights,
it's
I think
not even attached to your tights.
But I think because it covers it up, so it's not like you can't see the tights kind of like riding down your ass and shit. You know what I mean? I think that does have a lot to do with it too.
But I was only thinking of it with Jericho because the way he was standing in one shot, it was like a side profile, and his weight belt was like literally holding his gut up.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, man, if he didn't have that weight belt on, his gut would be dangling.
Yeah, yep.
But
this match had such an old school feel to me, just babyface against heel.
It's going to be, I'm just thinking this because he's going to do the Alabama Slam. It's going to be so cool to meet Hardcore Holly.
Yeah. And and a lot of people would say, oh, you're getting excited to meet a mid-card guy. To me, he was one of the most consistent guys in that company.
He was so much fun to watch because he was one of the few serious guys out of all those cartoon characters.
Yeah. And he was always over with the crowd. No matter what he did. He wasn't a top guy, but he was always one of the popular, whatever he was doing, the crowd liked him.
It would have been different, but without Hardcore Holly, we wouldn't have a Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Like this version, because he needed that, to work with Hardcore Holly.
Yeah. Yep.
He needed to have Ted DiBiase come in and do that. Like, all that shit needed to happen to get to this point.
That's one of my favorite.
AEW.
That's one of my favorite things ever when they did that turn with Cody.
Mine too.
I thought that was great.
Mine too.
And it was out of nowhere. Like you had no clue that's how they were going. And then that makes me think, you see creative shit like that.
I loved it.
And then you go, why can't they do stuff like that anymore?
Yep. I had a lot of fun with that storyline because it was built Hardcore Holly, this badass veteran, Cody Rhodes or Dusty Rhodes, stupid looking lisp of a son, was trying to get over in his green trunks and yellow boots.
Yep.
Just pissing off Hardcore Holly because he'd lose all the time and this and that, and again, it's just to think that version of Cody Rhodes, and here we are with this AEW out of all. It's just So yeah, I'm excited to meet Hardcore Holly on many levels for the Hardcore Championship matches he had.
Him with Crash and the tag team.
Exactly.
Him calling himself the Big Shot and all that stuff. Yeah.
His fucking ECW little stint. That was actually a lot of fun watching that. I remember watching the match with him and RVD where he slit his back open like that.
He's one of the ones that I want to, if we can, talk to him.
Yeah.
I want to spend, even if it's just a couple minutes, just say something to him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just be like, man, we really appreciate what you did.
Well, come up with something before the day of, like, because that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Like, we didn't do that really. We don't really do that. Come up with anything prior. It's always on the spot or whatever.
Right.
So we should probably come up with like a game plan.
Yeah.
And prepare for that.
Yeah.
During one of these podcasts or whatever.
He seems like the kind of guy that I'd just like to, even just for 60 seconds, just say a couple things to him and, you know, see what he says. Mm-hmm. You know, just get some kind of interaction. Because I don't think he's going to have a long line, unfortunately. But.
Yeah, I'm down for that. And I really am, though, excited to meet Hardcore Holly.
Yeah, me too.
And Kane, of course, obviously, for many reasons. I hope they bring more people in from that era.
Yeah. Or
just with that caliber of like, holy shit, I didn't think that person. Like, I would love it if they brought Devon.
Yeah.
Or Spike, because I never got to meet Spike when you did.
Spike, yeah.
And even if I did get to meet Spike, I'd like to meet him again, because I'm a Dudley Boys fan.
Yeah. I'd like to meet Spike again.
Was he nice? How was he?
Oh, he was real nice.
Was he? Okay.
Yep.
Because when I watched the shoot video you gave me that one time, he seemed like a real prick. He really did. Like, because the guy's asking him questions, which to me are basic interview questions, and Spike's basically just ripping them apart. Like, what are you not? You've never heard me answer these questions before?
It's like, dude, we're paying you to fucking answer questions.
Right.
Like, you know, yeah. Yep.
Like, I get you've answered these questions 100 times, but yes, maybe I should be preparing a little bit better, but you should be understanding you're in this position where you're going to get asked this shit.
Dude, I watched the Dean Malenko one that he did right after he left WWE. I'd always heard that, he's such an interesting guy backstage, and it was one of the most boring fucking shoots I've ever watched in my life. I felt like the handful that you gave me, and nothing against those guys, they were just boring interviews. They weren't. I don't know. I mean, it's different if I'm doing something and I'm listening to an interview in a podcast, opposed to I'm just sitting here watching somebody just getting interviewed. Maybe if they were showing like highlights of their matches and stuff as they were talking, right? Like or that, if it was like, to me personally, I guess it would be better if it was like a group setting, right? If there were like a couple of them and they were playing off of each other, kind of like the Legends of Wrestling. I love that. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. And I'll be honest, this is gonna. Maybe I did know this, but I just found out. I did not know. Again, maybe I did, but I really don't recall Mike Graham passing away. Yeah, that's something that kind of flew under the radar because he committed suicide, so yeah. Like, I don't know how I just found out about it, but it was like within a week, I'm like checking shit out, and there was something about Mike Graham came up and said he had passed away. I was like, what? I'm like, I feel like I just saw him do something recently. Right. And then I'm looking into it, and it was back in 2012. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? How did I not hear Mike Graham die? Like, just blew my mind. I was like, wow, no shit. Yeah, it was because I was listening to a Mike Graham story on 83 Weeks. And Conrad had a clip for Bischoff to listen to and give his 2 cents on. Oh, where he was talking about like he brought Hogan in or all that shit. Yeah. Yep. And they said something about Mike Graham passing away, or Bischoff didn't want to speak ill of the dead. And then I stopped right then and there. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Like, did he just recently pass away? And then I'm looking into it, I'm like, 2012? I'm like, 2012? What? Where was I? Seriously, what the fuck? I never even heard of that. Yeah, I completely forgot that he was gone, too. Yep. That's kind of, like, sad. Yeah. And knowing that his dad committed suicide and he committed suicide, that's... Now, was his the whole thing committing suicide because, like, he just didn't live up to... I don't know what the circumstances were of his. I think he had substance issues, too, so... Because I've heard a lot of the stories of, like, him never living up to, like, the expectation of his dad and shit. Same with Greg Gagne. Like, he never...
Right.
I mean, how could you live up to that?
Shane
you know
McMahon.
I mean? Yeah.
You're just lucky enough that you are... with Shane, your dad is the one that's on top.
And I think that's why he always went all out in his matches,
right.
because he wanted to try to overshadow his father in some way.
Yep.
You know?
Which I think he did in a lot of aspects.
Oh, yeah.
Because Shane is Vince McMahon, but on a better level. Like, I feel like he could run that company in a successful way to where it would, like, mirror NXT and AEW. And not so much, like, the look, but it would give you back that feel of, like, oh, I love this. This is why I love wrestling.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy that would listen to the right people, you know, totally. And I don't blame him for when, like, in 2009, or was it 2009, when he left, he realized he was never getting the fucking company.
No, did he leave again?
Too. I don't know if he has or not. I haven't seen him. He hasn't been on TV in a long time. He might
I
have.
didn't see him in a while.
But, I mean, if you realize that you're never getting it, you know, I'd leave
why
too.
Why put that much effort into it anyway?
I mean, I get Stephanie, you know, she's with Triple H, and, you know, there might be a... But at that point, he had no fucking clue that he ever would take over that company.
Right.
You know? Until Vince is dead, nobody's taking over that company.
Yep.
And that company's going to live on because they keep getting TV deals and all that stuff, but... You need to get you one of them sweater vests with the Cody logo on it.
I'll wear that. I love seeing Arn Anderson. I just think that's so cool. He just looks like the grizzled old veteran.
I'll have to get you some episodes of his podcast because I think they're really good.
I listen to a lot of. I pick because they have it on YouTube. They have the full episodes of the Arn show, or they have like 10, 15-minute little segments. And I listen to a lot of him and Conrad.
And I like on every other week, it's just answering questions, which I think is a really cool idea.
Yep.
Because to me, some of the ones that Conrad does are getting really stale.
Well, the problem I have specifically with Arn is he's very, just like with JR, there's no energy.
Yeah.
They're very, well, you know, kid, I put him down, and I laid him there, and I won, 2 had kicked out, and I didn't win it, kid.
He's starting to open up a little bit more, but...
It's very, very monotone.
And he's not the kind of person like Bischoff or Pritchard that, you know, Conrad can needle to get something out of him, to have him flip out or something. Because I think he figures if he does that to Arn Anderson's just going to say, fuck it, I ain't doing this anymore.
Right, and he knows Bischoff and... Pritchard enough to be able to do that, because clearly they're all brothers. It's a brotherhood, all of it. Even Conrad's part of that brotherhood. But he's more family with certain people than he is with others. And it's clear just the way they talk. I mean, Pritchard and him are the originators of basically this fucking wrestling podcast world. Bruce Pritchard, I feel like he could just talk to anybody. And, but if Conrad went at Arn the way he does the other two, just like you said, I could say, well, fuck you, bud, I ain't doing this no more.
Yep. Yeah.
You got to go at him. You got to finesse him.
Yep.
And definitely woo.
And like the one he does with Shivani,
so cool right there.
They do like watch-alongs all the time. The ones when they do ECW are kind of cool because Shivani's never seen it, so they have something to talk about. But now it's Tony Reed's rap. Like, he gives him a dirty rap song and has Tony like do the lyrics, you know, funny. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. Like, before, when they were doing the watch-alongs, they would do funny commentary and they would do voices. They don't even do that shit anymore. It's like, I think he gets too comfortable with these guys once he gets into it. Because he doesn't even really needle Bischoff anymore. Like, he used to piss Bischoff off like crazy. I think he gets too comfortable and he doesn't know what to do anymore to get them riled up.
Right.
Like, Pritchard really doesn't even do the impressions anymore.
No.
Like, he used to do Cornette and, you know, Dusty all the time and Macho Man. Yeah, I think they get way too comfortable in what they're doing. And Pritchard I get because he's doing shit with WWE, so that motherfucker's, that's most of his life, and yeah, you know. I mean, I do enjoy listening to him, but they get into too much of a rhythm. So.
I really need Pritchard to do some kind of con.
Yeah.
God damn, I really need to meet that guy. I really, really want to meet him.
Well, whenever I see an appearance.
Does he do them? Other than, like...
I haven't seen very many.
Starcades and shit?
No, I haven't seen very many, but if I ever do...
Oh, God, I would really like to meet him.
I would, too. I mean, he's from my era, too. You know,
yeah,
Brother
exactly.
Love and shit. Yeah. Yep. I mean, he even bridges the Ruthless Aggression because he did Brother Love for a while in 03, so...
He's been prominent for wrestling my entire life.
Yeah.
I mean, even his brother, I'm familiar enough with him to know these guys are important people in the wrestling world.
Yep. To know that, you know, John Pritchard, you know, trained Kurt Angle and all that stuff, and Mark Henry and all that, and... See, this stuff was so unneeded to me, with Wardlow and Brandy and...
This kid... No!
Oh, yeah.
You killed him!
I mean, he got him in the shoulder, which is good, but, like...
That's a bump, though!
Yeah, he took a bump. For a guy that's had that fucked up of a neck, that he took a major bump.
Especially when, again, he's not one of those guys you saw all the time in WWE taking bumps to where you're like, all right, well, it's only been like a year since the last bump he took, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen fucking Arn Anderson take a bump.
Maybe when Undertaker kicked him in 2002.
Even there you go. That's
Flair.
Going so far back.
Yep. 18 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, it just... And I love Arn. He's my favorite horseman.
Yeah. And you go back and you watch, like, the promos that he used to cut and shit. If he had the body... You know, if he had a different body type, he would have been right up there with Flair.
Yeah.
But with the body type that he had, he was always the tag along for Flair.
Yep.
I think if he had a better body, he would have been neck and neck with Flair because he had the wrestling ability, and he could talk. Yeah, that was gnarly.
And you know what I just find crazy about with Cody when he does like promos or really anything gets into the moment. He fucking just throws his ring gear out in the crowd.
Yeah.
Like, for the week before they did Bash at the Beach, he came out, or maybe, no, it was the week before. He came out in like the Miami Vice kind of look, the white pants, blue shirt, white jacket. Takes the white jacket off and then just chucks it out in like 6 rows into the crowd. Yeah. It's like, how fucking awesome would that be to have caught that?
He's doing it with the weight belts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, this is a guy that loves this business and truly loves the fans.
Yeah.
Like, he's just amazing.
And
I love this company so much.
And to know that he could have just been Stardust and stayed there and been a mid-card guy and collected a paycheck, but fuck no. He wanted to make something of himself, and he went with the uncertainty of leaving, you know, because... He didn't have the options that he does now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I mean, he had Japan and, you know, but he was bouncing around from company to company, but he didn't really know where he was going to land or what he was going to do, you know? So I total respect to him for that.
There was, I'm thinking of it now, I know it was between Moxley and Jericho. I don't remember if it was during this match, not this match, but this pay-per-view, or when it was. But they were blading. And I could have sworn, because I think Moxley, yeah, it was the match from Revolution. I don't know how it happened, but I think Moxley, this is my theory, I think Moxley had a razor blade underneath his fucking...
Oh, the eye patch?
His eye patch, because at one point you see it, his whole eyelid get like slit right open. But they show him, like, falling onto the mat, and then they kind of go away from him, and then they kind of go back. And you see him slam his hand down, and then pick his hand up, shaking it like this. And you literally looks like a fucking razor blade sticking out of his pinky. Yeah. And I'm just watching, like, I know they blade, and I've seen a lot of these guys blade. I can't believe I haven't seen more accidents like that.
Right.
If that is what it was, it could have been something totally different, or some other foreign object. But it was weird because he did. He even tried like pulling the eye patch down, and you could see it kind of got stuck.
Yep.
And it's like, I just can't rationally think why would he keep the blade in his eye patch though.
Yeah.
Because that is such a high risk place to have that happen. Because even when he takes his eye patch off, you see all the blood pour out of it. And then you see this nasty fucking, like, gash above his eyelid. And it's like, oh. It's just... gnarly. It's just gross. You don't see the blood shit anymore, so you're not desensitized to it anymore.
Yeah. I can't imagine blading, like...
I could in the moment, because
maybe with the adrenaline, you don't even feel it.
But sitting here right now...
Yeah.
No.
Taking a razor blade to your fucking forehead, like, yeah.
No.
I mean, I'm sure it just takes a little nick, but still, you step on a fucking thumbtack and that shit fucking hurts.
But then that's the roar of the crowd.
Right.
So, and that goes to the WWE shit. Not saying that you need the crowd to blade and shit, but you know that energy is roaring you.
Yep.
Like, oh, they're into it. They're like, all right, there it goes. How do you do that? How do you hype yourself up?
Yep.
With no one there to produce that energy for you? That would be like us sitting here right now, which we could do it. We could get right into it. But we're doing that for ourselves.
Right.
We're not doing it for an audience. How do you perform for an audience when you don't have one?
Like Last Man Standing. There's nobody to count with the ref.
Could you imagine a Royal Rumble without a crowd?
Yeah.
What the fuck is the excitement of right there?
Yep.
Oh, I would love to catch that. Oh, I would love that. That's so cool. But like the countdown's gone.
Yeah.
The mystique of like a random entrant or a surprise entrant gone.
Or a 3 count. Like the crowd counts with the fucking 3 count, and it goes when it doesn't.
Exactly.
You have no emotion to me at all in these matches. I think it's going to be horrible. But I'm interested to see what transpires. But I think it's going to be bad.
I don't know. Hey, we can end it if you're good with that. I pretty much am steamed.
Yeah, dude. This has been fun. Actually, I've
enjoyed this.
Yeah, I think having this playing has actually helped a lot.
That's why I like having, if we can have something to kind of correlate with what we're talking about, playing, whether it's actually goes along with what we're talking about, or if it's just whatever, just to kind of give like something to bounce off of here and there. I like it.
I don't know what we're going to do next. Probably WrestleMania, but do you have an idea of what we're doing? Are we going to do Kevin Smith?
I would like to do the Kevin Smith one. I wanted Mark to be part of it, but every fucking time we go to record, he's busy doing other things, and I'm not going to wait for him anymore because I'm getting sick of wanting to do that episode. But yeah, we can, whenever we record again, it'll definitely be the comic shop. I'm going to do couple little not special things, but like this kind of like quick little review thing of that. I'm going to do, because you haven't done it in a while, the Deadly Dozen. I'm going to do one with like movies.
Okay, I like it.
Kind of, not so much like dozen, but just kind of like a little movie thing. Because I went on a movie binge the other day and bought a bunch of new shit and all that good stuff.
All right.
Comic book news, like comic book anything, like movies and shit. Movie theaters are getting closed down.
Yeah.
Movies that are going to be in theaters are basically going to be going to video on demand. It's a horrible thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this whole virus has fucked a lot of shit up. So.
Yep. So.
All right, so MJF just got the win. I guess that's a good place
that's a high note to end on.
Yeah. So this has been The Wrestling Ring on the Comic Wrestling Podcast. I'm Deadly Dave.
I am the Wild Card Ace Williams. This is the Argyle Brewing Company Cup. These are Skittles, and these are awful.
Very awful.
Awful Pickle Rick Pringles. And if any three of those companies want to endorse us, we are the Comic Wrestling Podcast. We are on all kinds of podcast platforms, and we are on YouTube. Be sure to check us out.